Life's a ride, so let's make it count. Cherish every moment, that's what it's about. Tune in, together we're building our groove. Every beat, every laugh, we're ready to move. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave the troubles behind. This podcast is gold, the treasure you'll find. With every word, we'll light up your day. Join the conversation, let's laugh all the way. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave your troubles behind. This podcast is gold, a treasure you'll find.
What's up? Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, I'm sorry. Good to see you. Welcome back to the cafe. How are you, everybody? And good morning, Mr. Arctic and Doodle. Miss Doodle. The lost little.
I'm still singing that little tune. I love that intro. I'm over here. I'm over here just getting with it. I'm like, man, I hope I'm muted.
Caden knows. I sing it every morning. Caden knows every word to it now, too. I love it. It was really, really good. Not to mention the awesome background you made for this. I love this.
And Preston will sing it to his class. He has sang that to his classroom. They're looking at him like, what? He said, they didn't know. I said, it's all right. We can be cool without them knowing.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. How are you feeling today, Duty?
I feel great. I woke up feeling good. Had my coffee. I've already had my live for the morning. I do my missing in the morning, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it.
You did an amazing job this morning, Doodle.
I actually added myself to my own stream this time. Arctic always has like, hey, Doodle, you forgot to add yourself. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to start trying to get in there in the mornings are hard for me before I do this because of everything I do, but I'm going to try to start joining that and get in there in the morning.
Okay. I understand. Listen, that's 9 o'clock. That's early. I just try to get that out of the way so I can try to gain a little confidence when I'm talking to myself on there. So I'm getting there.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I hurried up and did a quick look at you. You did big. You're doing great. That's all I can say. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Let me see here.
Cassie, don't you worry about it. I get it. I would never be up at 9 o'clock usually, but it's kind of like my New Year's thing. I'm getting up. I can't lay in bed all day. I got things to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. How are you today, Mr. Arctic? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I got my shorts out this morning. I do have a couple of cold cases that I want to try to get out later today. Scheduled one for today and one for tomorrow. And got mom to the beauty shop, got her hair did. So
that's awesome. Awesome. It's great to have you both here with me this morning. I am super grateful that you guys allow me to be your co-host up here. I'm telling you guys, I love it. You guys are amazing. And I couldn't do this without both of you. It makes the day go by. Mama Bear, I think, is going to be joining us here very shortly, too. Exciting as that is, I am grateful to all of you in the chat as well. Thank you guys for joining us today. Speaking of, it looks like the last 24, Mr. Mikey's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Dial Up Dreamer, Miss Stormy, good to see you. The lovely Miss Wisdom Speaks. Welcome back, Miss Sherry. And, of course, little Miss Sassy Cassie's in the house. Good to see you, Cass. Good to see you today.
That picture, Dago. Look how beautiful Wisdom is in that picture. Wow, girl.
Always.
Dang, she's got good genes.
I told you. She looks just like I can never remember her name from the Munsters, but
she could be a movie. Look at that. She could have been a model. Look at that. Just perfect. No wrinkles, no nothing.
It's the Native American genes, I'm telling you.
Crap. I have some of them, and let me tell you what, I age like milk. I get chunky and sour.
Oh, bullshit. You're gorgeous too. Quit it. Stop it. All the ladies in here are beautiful. Inside and out. Brutally Honest, welcome back to you as well. Miss Dawn, Southern Gal, good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Where we at? Mr. Arctic, of course, sitting up here next to me. Lucky as I am for that. Hold on a minute here. Where are we? Where are we? Sunday's in the house. Welcome back, Sunday. Good to see you. Yes, it is Friday. And I'm not promising. I'm trying really hard, y'all, to get here tonight so that we can cover, because it's been a while since I've done it. It's been crazy month. But the Ananuki for Paranormal Friday night. Fingers crossed. Everybody cross your fingers that wants to see it, that I can do it. That's all I'm saying. Please do, if you will. I really want to get into that. Yes, the Ananuki. That's right, Cass. This is Cassie's idea, by the way. She brought it to my attention, and we really need to do it. Of course, Molly brought it up too, threw some stuff at me about it, so we are going to cover it. I've been really interested in so I think Cassie's happy about it. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I think so.
Just a little, yeah.
I will try to make it. I have a date this evening with the most handsome 9-year-old you will ever see. So we're going to the movies. It's going to be fun.
Mr. P, lucky guy.
Yep.
What are you guys going to see?
I have no idea. I guarantee it's a cartoon. He's all about it.
Ain't nothing wrong with them. I love those cartoons.
I could get into the Moana. That was
the Moana 2.
Yeah, Moana.
It's really good. Me and Junie watched it last weekend when she was here. I got that streaming service that shows me all the movies when they come out. Lucky, it was good. Nothing's as good as the first, but I like Moana. I think it was cute. Right. So, yeah, Molly does. She has some really good videos on the Ananuki stuff. So tune in, guys, if you're into that kind of stuff tonight. It's really interesting, actually. I never heard of it until Cassie brought it up. So, of course, I go look, and I'm like, holy shit, this is perfect. So it's going to be, we call it the Paranormal, Creepy, and Unexplained Friday Night Scenario. So it's interesting. It's creepy. It's definitely unexplained, and it's definitely paranormal, in my opinion. So if you're into that stuff, tune in, because it should be interesting. Fingers crossed that it everything works out. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. There's Sunday Doodles. Good to see you today. I like milk. I age like milk. Okay. Yeah, that's not true, Doodle. You gotta stop being so hard on yourself. I spied Dago and Arctic and a Doodle. There's a Doodle up here too. She's lost, but she's here. But yeah, that background Doodle, I love that. I like all of those that you sent. Those are awesome.
Oh,
absolutely. Today, guys, like it says, grab your copy. This cold case today is over 3 years. And I know Arctic covered this at some point. Miss Barbara Hall actually sent this to me. Called me the other night when she called the rest of you guys, I guess, too. We talked about it. She's really good friends with Echo's sister, I believe it is, and said that she would like to get this out. So I don't know, if we'll hear from the sister. Barb said she wanted to get in touch with her and let her send her my direction, I guess. But either way, it's a really weird case, weird situations, as all the ones we've been covering lately are. And her name is Echo Michelle Lloyd, and of course, she's out of Missouri, none other. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Surprise!
Oh boy!
Mm-hmm. Miss Dawn said she covered this one too. It's definitely weird. I'll just put it that way. So put your hats on and your thinking caps, and let's see if we can come together and figure something out with this one, because I don't get it. There's not a whole lot of like news stuff on this, but everybody, I swear to God, when I was looking through stuff, everybody covered this. There's so many channels I never even heard of. And I found, by the way, a true crime cafe.
Yeah.
That ain't me. She came after me too. She's at, I think she's got like 1.9 thousand subscribers or something. And I was like, what the shit?
Oh, she came after you, meaning she came she started hers after
started
you.
Her channel after me.
Like, I thought you meant she came after you, like, hey, you stole my name. I was like, oh
no.
you better wait.
Yeah, no. At least not yet. But I was here first. You know, I'm not that kind of person. But I don't know if I'm gonna have to change something up or whatever.
No, you were here first.
No,
Well,
you were here first, and everyone knows you by this name now. It'd be crazy to change the name of the channel.
that's kind of my thought too. And I don't know. You know, not everybody knows if you don't see these channel names and stuff. I've been here for, by the way. I got a little notification yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday. 3 years, folks, from my first video on YouTube ever.
Oh my goodness.
So
Congratulations.
happy birthday.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday to the channel. I knew I was coming up on 3 years, but I didn't know. So 3 years, I can't believe it, and I swear it's been one hell of a ride for sure so far. So that's that. Thank you, Southern Gal. Appreciate that very much. And thank you, Stormy. I appreciate that. It's not my birthday. It's the channel birthday, but thank you. That's how they sent it to me, at least. So at this point, 3 years in, I gotta do something to make this thing be something. So we're gonna make something happen in here these days coming up. And get this channel to where I think it should be after 3 years at this point. Matt, oh, welcome, brother. Good to see you today. Probably later, sure, yes. I would definitely will. Thank you guys all for joining us last night. Thank you, Miss Cassie. Gifted a membership out to Raquel. Oh, well. I love that name. Congrats, Raquel. Welcome to the sauce. Another new meatball in the sauce. I appreciate that very much. And thank you again for being so very generous, Miss Cass. We love you. And thank you to the Blue Crew for being here. Appreciate you guys. You all know that I couldn't, wouldn't, or shouldn't ever try to do this without you all. As well as all the meatballs that jump into sauce with us every day as we spill this sauce, trying to figure out what's going on in the true crime world. You guys are so very much appreciated. I'm working on it, Mikey. I'm trying. We will make it happen one way or another with this crew of people and this community that we have. We will make this happen. That's all I'm saying, guys. Positivity. I'm not going to go into that other stuff, but yeah, positivity is all it takes.
I'm gonna hush.
Yeah, right. It almost came out the wrong way, and I'm like, nah, not doing that. But anyway, thank you again, Cassie. Another one gifted that's so very amazing to Michelle Tully. Congratulations, Michelle. Welcome to the sauce. There she is. The one and only Mama Bear. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Because you're not working. You're very good.
Yes. Well, I did work, but I'm done back home.
That's awesome. Welcome back.
And my hubby should be home in about half an hour. So.
Oh, that's right. He had a short trip this time.
Yeah.
Awesome. That is awesome. It's great to have you here, Mama Bear. It's great to have I love this panel of people. I really do. Doodle, Arctic, Mama Bear, and myself. I love it, love it, love it. Absolutely.
Hi, guys.
Well, hi. Glad you could join us today. We miss having you up here.
I know. I miss being up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
How
I
are the
think the
kiddos?
only day working is Wednesdays because we'll see how it goes. Let me put it that way.
How are the kiddos, Mama Bear? Doing good?
They're struggling. They haven't been to school in 2 weeks.
You know, I think maybe it's I'm telling you, it could be this, do they have seasonal depression? Because Preston, I think, has that. He has moments in these little things of weather that they hit this,
it happens.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
I think that's what's going on.
Oh.
They need some sunshine.
Yeah, we actually have sunshine today, which I was glad. I also got one of those light thingies from Amazon because one of the girls' therapists recommended it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that thing is as bright as the sun. Me and Lorelai about fell out. We was like, oh my gosh, we were like the pictures and videos. These people are just sitting there next to this little tablet looking thing, no big deal. I was like,
they're supposed to mimic the sun, supposedly. So yeah.
yeah.
Maybe it'll work.
Wow.
Do they take vitamin D? Because I know everybody in these northern states, most everybody's on vitamin D.
Yeah, I've got them on a multivitamin, and I checked with their psychiatrist to make sure that they had the vitamins in them that they needed, and she said that was good. So.
Yeah, everybody in my house is on it. Most everybody in my state is on it. Because we
Probably.
don't get it. It's all so overcast constantly up here.
Yeah.
So when we get sunshine, you can tell the difference between people's moods. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Um,
So
well,
yeah,
hopefully that all works out and everything starts to get better for them.
I hope so because it's been stressful.
Yes, I get it. Always in our thoughts and prayers, Mama Bear. You know that.
I know.
Um, congratulations, Mr. Steven. No, welcome back, I should say, because you were, but welcome back to the sauce with us, sir. Appreciate you very much. Yeah, the cold has
Yeah.
put everybody down, I think. It's been so damn cold the past like 3 weeks, I think, roughly. It's been rough for everybody. And I'm talking from all the way up here to clear down to Florida, guys. It ain't been fun. That's for damn
Yeah.
sure.
I don't
Yeah.
mind like 30s. I can deal with it, but this 17 degrees and
Yeah,
below is ridiculous.
exactly.
I'm over it.
Well,
Wait.
see, yesterday it got up into the 50s here. So this morning I didn't think I was going to have to get up and defrost my car to take my mom to the beauty shop. I was like, surely it didn't get that cold. I go out there, it's 18 degrees. My car's all frosted over, and I'm sitting there. I was like, okay, well, Mom, I'm sorry I didn't warm the car up for you this morning because I wasn't thinking it was going to be this bad.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course you did, Miss Sherry. Snow and sunshine.
Dago, mother had just messaged me a flyer and some information. She asked me if I would share it. I don't know if you want to or not, but I did send it to your Discord just in case. I don't know if this is new or not. She just messaged me and I agreed that I would share it at some point today. So I thought I would send it to you just in case if you wanted to. If you don't, it's completely okay. I will on mine.
You know better than that. Anytime, every time we
Thank
take
you.
whatever we're doing, we stop and we do this right here. Community alert, Sheriff of Jersey County. This is out of North Washington, Illinois. Looks like we have a missing endangered person, Kayla Vatole, 39-year-old white female, 5'3", 111 pounds, hazel eyes, brown hair, dyed blonde. Multiple tattoos on neck, arms, legs, and hands, believed to be wearing black sweatpants with white lettering, black hoodie, and a white high top, white high top tennis shoes. Jersey County Sheriff's Office is seeking assistance in locating the above person, Miss Kayla Botoli. Kayla went missing on the afternoon of January 8th of 23 from her residence located on Little Piazza Road in Dow, Illinois. In the past, Kayla resided in Carlinville, Alton, and Wood River, Illinois. Kayla is a cancer survivor and has recurring medical complications and wears a colostomy bag. Let's see if anybody has any information from this area or any information whatsoever on Kayla. Please contact Jersey County Sheriff's Office at 618-498-6881. Which is also 114 North Washington in Jerseyville, Illinois. If you want to go to the police station, 62052. Again, there's multiple pictures of her. This was posted January 19th. She's been missing since 23, folks. So it's a couple years. This is kind of important. So,
Right. And this is the same area as the Amy Fulton, which is actually Amy Baumgartner
mhm.
Fulton. Yeah. So this is in the same area. So that might
Okay.
also reach out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So guys, take a good look. And I'm going to try to post this on my community page as well. If we can't, Mom, or Jesus, Doodle, the way you sent this. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can also email it to you if you need me to.
Either way, it's fine. I'm going to post it on my community page. I don't know. Arctic, do you have this already?
I don't, but if Doodle sends it to me or one of you
Okay,
send it
I
to me,
will.
I'll get it on my community page or I'll do a short on it.
All right.
Yeah. There we go. Lucia Williamson, welcome. Good to see you today. Come on in, guys. Please make sure to hit the button on the way through the door and like it if you would. Share it out. Let everybody know what we're doing in here today. Grab your coffee. Come on in so we can talk about a cold case. But again, Kayla Batoli, this is out of North Washington, Jerseyville, Illinois. Missing since January 8th of 2023. She is 39 years, well, She would be 41 now. White female, 5'3", 111 pounds, hazel eyes, brown hair, dyed blonde, multiple tattoos on her neck, arms, legs, and hands. And at that time was believed to be wearing black sweatpants with white lettering. I would doubt that she's wearing the same outfit, but still. Black hoodie, white high top tennis shoes. So there could be multiple looks that this lady's walking around with at this point, unfortunately. If you know the name, anything, again, guys, please contact Jersey County Sheriff, 618-498-6881. Thank you,
And
Doodle,
she,
for that.
and she is another one that they did not say anything to her about NamUs. They didn't offer any kind of foundations for her. They didn't give her any kind of information, just like Linda with her daughter Amy.
I don't understand any of this anymore. Like, when somebody goes missing, the first thing that should be done is handing out the resources. Here,
It's Illinois. Illinois
Yeah.
is terrible for that.
well, that needs to change. I'm just saying. That's nuts. It's just, here's what you need to do, folks. You know, when somebody goes missing, that's what they should be doing. Here's this resource, that resource, that resource.
Right.
This is
And they
what
don't
you
even
can
want to
do.
offer a case number. Like, you have to fight with them. You have to, you have to just get angry. I had to just get pissed and finally end up with it. But still, you shouldn't have to do that to get a
No.
case number for your missing child. No way.
Not at all. Not
Ooh,
at
look
all.
at you, Neil. Look at them pretty brown eyes.
I love the avatar. Welcome, Neil. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, it should never be a struggle. It should never be a fight. They should be throwing that stuff at these people.
No, absolutely. I mean, shit, just in the time that we've been talking, I already got her posted to my community page. How hard would it be for them to give the
Thank
parents
you.
a case number?
Right. It takes seconds. It literally takes seconds, and it's
Right, because that's
unbelievable.
how these people get found. If you can't get like the the foundations, the MPIA, and all of that, it's crazy to me they never even say anything to them. They don't. These people don't even know that exists. That's what's sad.
I know, and that's what I don't understand. If you would do it, it helps law enforcement in their, with what they're doing to find this person or these people, and I don't get it.
Well,
It's
here's the problem. If the person has a prior criminal history or has ever had an addiction, they don't care.
right, and we talked about it yesterday. It's bullshit. They're still human beings. They're still people, folks, and they need to be treated that way. They're just as important as anybody else, and that is the problem in a lot of senses. Just like here, Haley, Thay, does anybody, I don't know if she's been found yet.
She hasn't been found yet.
She
Okay.
has not. I did a short on her this morning. Lisa brought me that case last night, and I got Kenny with the Aware Foundation to do a flyer and get her posted to the Aware's page. So
Right, absolutely, beautiful young woman, guys. Missing out of Longview, Washington, last seen November of 2024, 5'6", 130 pounds. She was last heard from in late November, early December of 2024. She could possibly be in Longview, Kelso, Castle Rock, Vancouver, or Olympia, Washington. If anybody does have any information on Miss Haley here, please contact Cowlitz County Sheriff at 360-577-3092. Again, thank you guys so much for that. Like I said, this is the best we can do, guys, is put these faces, these names, the information out here as regularly as we can to try to bring these people home. So hopefully it'll help in that aspect with Miss Haley there as well. Do you guys know if Alyssa Barney has been found out of Tennessee? Okay, because it's another one.
I would have to see their face because it's so hard to keep up with the names.
I know. I just didn't know by the name. This is another endangered child alert.
what was her name?
Alyssa Barney, she's 17, out of Tennessee. She's missing since January 22nd from Hohenwald, Tennessee. 5'2", 200 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, blonde hair. Let's see. She's white female, 5'2", 100 pounds with blonde hair, brown hair. Last seen on January 22nd. It's 2 days ago.
She's been located. I looked it up.
Okay, thank you, bud. Again, and that's good. I'm not wasting any time, in my opinion, doing this because found or not found, we still need to, put these names out here, in my opinion. Let's see. We also have Nancy's been helping out, throwing these in here as well, and I really appreciate that, Nancy. You have no idea. Let's see here. We got Miss Jill Rosenthal. Let's see.
That is an old case, and there's
Yeah.
not any actual pictures of Jill. They're basically drawing her based off people's descriptions and trying to age progress it. And so this is a tough one, guys.
Mhm. This might be a cold case that needs to be covered. She went missing at 1 year old, folks. She's 61 years ago. Female. They don't have any idea what her height, weight, anything is. This here, like he said, this composite is what they're believing she could look like at this time. She was last seen as an infant who shortly went missing before her second birthday. There's no image of her that exists right now, but this composite progression was created based on her family members. Jill has been missing since 1965 in July in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Jill's twin brother, Jack, was believed to be Paul Fonczak, an infant that went missing in Chicago. So he was raised as Paul until 2012 when he had DNA testing to prove that he was Jack. If you have any information or if you are Jill Rosenthal, please contact 609-347-5766. If you can hear me out there and this is you, Jill, there's people looking for you. Please get a hold of somebody and let them know where you are and that you're okay, because this is wild. 61 years, folks. Wow. So again, this is a composite. So if you see somebody that looks even remotely like this, talk to them. Maybe, I don't know. I can't believe that. That's wild, guys. So there's that one. Like I said, that may need to be a cold case if we can find some information on what went on and what happened. That would be interesting, in my opinion. So thank you for that, Nancy. Very much appreciated. Let's see real quick here. Let me throw one more up before we get rolling on this. This one bugs me a little bit too. Arkansas State Police are searching for this 7-year-old little girl from Dardanelle, Arkansas. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, that's not far from Brandy at all.
Okay, good. So it is familiar with. Let's see here. Hold on a minute, you guys. Sorry. There we go. Let's see if I can blow this up just a little bit more. Yep, there we go.
Oh, she's been found.
Has she? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. All right. Well, good. That's amazing. Kiss my ass. Hello and welcome. Or not. Nope, she didn't. She didn't quit. She just took a little break because she had to get better.
No, kiss my ass. I'm right here, love.
Okay, so she's been found. That is very awesome. All right. Give me another one here. Tina Fey Kemp. We talked about her. God, I have so many of these. So little time. All right, guys. All right, so we have Ranika Hawkins, 45 years old, last seen December 29th of 2024 at her home near Miller and Maricopa Roads, walks slow with a limp and requires medications for her conditions. Let's see. I don't believe this 45 years old, by the way, that she has been found at this point. If you have any information, please contact Buckeye Police at 623-386-4421 or submit a tip to www.buckeyes.gov/crime tip. If anybody has any information on Ranika Hawkins. All right. And again, thank you guys so very much for dropping these in here. You have no idea how much it means. It makes things so much easier for us to be able to throw these up and get them out there. Okay, hold on. All right. Welcome, Taylor. Thank you for joining us today. Kiss my ass. Love the name. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? Miss Peggy's in the house. Welcome, Miss Peggy. Good to see. We had a technical issue. It was StreamYard was bugging. I'll put it that way. Cassie, you know what that means. So I had to redo it. It shut itself down again. So sorry, Peggy. My apologies.
I figured that's what happened, but I was like, what the?
Yeah, right. I was getting ready to kick everything off. It just said stream ended, and I went, it did. That's wonderful. Anyway, welcome, Miss Kelly Kell. Good to see you, dear. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, anytime. You're always welcome. Everybody is welcome. My door is always open. Always open. And there is Mom, I think. No?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
she in here.
Hi, Mom.
Hello. Speaking of which, there it is. Caught a bling, caught a bloom. All right, Mom, your link is over there as always. Nancy Drew's in the house. Welcome. Hello to Mind of Monsters. I didn't see you, Kelly. I'm sorry, hon. My apologies to anybody I didn't see right off the gate. The way this thing rolls through, it's hard to see people sometimes. So I appreciate you all being here again as we look into, grab your coffee, like I said, as we look into the cold case of Echo Michelle Lloyd out of Missouri. Surprise. Missing for over 3 years at this point. Like I said, Miss Barbara Hall called me the other night and brought this up to my attention, asked if I'd be interested in it, and I said, of course I would, and said that she had, I guess Echo's sister is really close to Barb. They became friends because of the situation that Barb was going through. So
It's tripping me out with her name.
I know. Your daughter's got the same name.
She stole my daughter's name.
Is the middle name the same?
What
Or
was
is
her
it
name?
Echo Michelle?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. Well, at least there's that.
Echo Amelie.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, thank you, Taylor, for that. Before we get started, I guess M&M's. That's interesting. I didn't even realize that. Thank you, Taylor. For anybody that's an M&M fan, M&M's is finally bringing back this discontinued flavor after 9 years. Ew. M&M's makes a peanut butter and jelly flavor. No. That's gross. Anyway, just a little piece of info out there, guys. Peanut butter and jelly M&M's. I can't say I'd be okay with that. That's wild to me. Ew. Yuck. Peanut M&M's were my fave. Is it good, really? See? Not for me. Anyway, thank you, Taylor, for that info. Appreciate you very much. And again, everybody here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today for this. Please hit the like button. We got 17 likes with 24 peeps in here. That being said, let's get this show moving. Hang on here. Like I said, it was hard to find. You covered this too, right, Arctic? You said?
Yeah, I covered it. I think I covered her a couple of times.
There's a lot of people that covered this. I was really surprised. Welcome, Green Eyed. Good to see you today. You see, I thought they'd be gross too, you guys. I just can't. Whatever. That's me.
No, can't. Nope. Sorry.
The jelly, the peanut butter, I could probably handle, but the jelly in there, I just that's what's throwing me off. But it is what it is. All right, come on, please work.
Yep, I thought I'd covered her extensively. I've done 3 different videos on her.
Okay. Oh shit, I can't. Dang it, Jim. The thing that got me was there wasn't a lot of news coverage on her.
There really wasn't. The Aware Foundation had her posted on their page at one time. Some of the cold case groups have had write-ups about her, but
right. Oh, my mouse is doing this stupid thing again. Everything's going damn delay. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get this worked out. Come on. Bear with me for a second, you guys. shut down. Didn't mean to interrupt you, bud.
Oh, you're fine.
Good Lord. Okay. Ugh. Now, back in here. This is really, really peeing me off. Let's go into the downloads. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Mom. Again, thank you everybody that joined us yesterday. I did 3 shows yesterday. All day. I appreciate you guys that were in there. We covered we did our morning show. We did the Coburger hearing, and then we did the second part of the Delphi stuff. So I appreciate you all for being there. Welcome, Miss Kaylee. I hope you're having a good day today. Good afternoon to you. There's no jelly in there. It's just like, well, that still, caca, not for me. All right, let's go. Let's see. I guess this might have to be my next one because I can't even use that news, that one news break I found. CBS rules everything, I guess. No worries, Sunday. I understand. Okay, so this young woman has been missing since Mother's Day of 2020, guys. It's been a minute, okay. And there's no answers, there's no nothing, and it's really sad in my opinion. Come on, computer. My apologies, guys. I'll get it right here in a minute. It'll work. It's just taking its time today. Again. Yoy. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to run this one. And this footage. Good Lord. Bear with me. Sorry, I got a few different things we're gonna look at and listen to on this one.
What do you do when your mother, your family member, goes missing without a trace? How do you get law enforcement to really understand how dire it is to find this woman? Why are so many people just labeled missing persons and it's not considered a crime? Families become sad. They cry. They're desperate. They make social media posts and web pages and searches and foot searches to no avail. How do you get the world to help your story come alive? Because to you, your family member is the most important thing. And sometimes it seems to law enforcement that you're just another missing person. Where does the tide change? Is it after a week, after a month, 6 months, a year? Do people really just play Gone Girl? I don't believe that really happens that often. We're going to talk about a new case today that I came across, and it seems that they are trying to get social media, YouTubers, and others that follow true crime to get a little more involved and spread the word. Mother of 4, grandmother of 3, missing from Missouri since May of 2020. Mother's Day, the same day that Suzanne Morphew went missing. Echo Lloyd has been missing since then, and we are now heading into the dead of winter, and she has not been found. But the story does have some twists and some interesting points. So welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Catherine. Let's talk about Echo Lloyd. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Echo Lloyd is a 48-year-old mother of 4, grandmother of 3. Brand new grandchildren, too. She's been missing since Mother's Day, May 10th, 2020. Same day as Suzanne Morphew went missing, coincidentally. Her and her husband were separated, and she was living on her own, but her daughter says they were not going through a divorce. And the daughter, Kelsey, says that her stepdad, she has no reason to believe that her stepfather would have anything to do with the disappearance of her mother and that they loved each other. She is described by her daughter, Kelsey Smith, as someone that means so much to so many people. Law enforcement calls her a missing person. The family says it's foul play.
This is a real person, and we love her, and we want her home. We want her home.
A desperate plea from a Missouri family to help find their missing cousin. Echo Lloyd was last seen 2 months ago today in Climax Springs. Andrew Avranik spoke to her cousin in Bates County and joined us live with more on this call for help. Andrew?
Lisa, Echo Lloyd was last seen on Mother's Day. That was May 10th. She was last seen at a Dollar General in Climax Springs. Her daughter, her brother, and her cousins haven't heard from or seen her since. They think someone out there knows what happened to her.
It's been a hard 2 months for Mary Dubray and her family.
It's been devastating.
Dubray's cousin, Echo Lloyd, has been missing since Mother's Day. She was last seen at the Dollar General in Climax Springs.
That is the last time we believe she was seen or heard from.
Lloyd hasn't used her cell phone, credit cards, or filled prescriptions since her disappearance.
She's on several medications that she does not have with her, nor does she have her billfold or her car. She is absolutely missing without a trace.
The Benton County Sheriff's Office is investigating. They are getting help from the Missouri State Highway Patrol and the FBI.
We don't feel that she, decided to leave her life or is gone of her own free will. We feel, as the family, we feel like there is definitely foul play involved.
Dubray, her sister, and Lloyd's daughter, Kelsey Smith, have set up a Facebook page to try and spread the word about Lloyd in hopes someone knows something.
We want to get her face in front of as many people as we can so that someone can recognize her and say, oh, I know what happened. I'm going to help these people find their loved one.
Dubray said her family isn't giving up hope, even though there are moments when doubt starts to set in.
When you lose someone that you love and you know how and why, it's devastating. But when you lose someone that you love and you don't know why, and you don't know where they are, and you don't know what happened, it's a wound that won't heal. And it's really, really hard to move past that.
If you have any information that can help investigators in this case, you're asked to call the Benton County Sheriff's Office or the State Highway Patrol. We've posted both of their phone numbers on our website this evening. We've also included a detailed description of Echo Lloyd, as well as a link to their Bring Echo Home Facebook page in this article on our website and news app. Reporting live tonight in Butler, Andrew Havranek, KY3
From
News.
Edwards, Missouri. She lived near the intersection of Stagg Road and Fourth View Road. After researching and reading up on the interviews that Kelsey.
So where roughly is this, Doodle? Are you familiar with Edwards, Missouri?
Yeah, it's a good ways for me. It's probably 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, got you. Is it near anything of any importance in Missouri? You know, big
No, not
places?
really.
Nothing.
No.
Okay. Rural area?
Yeah, definitely rural.
It definitely looks like it from the. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just wondering. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Echo's daughter had, this is the story. Mom is a very bubbly personality, down to earth, kind to everyone, beautiful inside and out, says Kelsey. So let's talk about the details. Trisha from Web Sleuths did interview Kelsey on November 7th. The link is in the description below, as well as Gray Hughes. He has interviewed her as well, and the link is in the description below. In the interview with Trisha, Kelsey says about 2 weeks before Mother's Day weekend, Echo came over to Kelsey's house and she was upset. She was frightened. A male neighbor was said to be bothersome, taking over Echo's house, keys, car, etc. She was upset, and Kelsey and Echo decided that they were going to go confront this neighbor the next day. Echo intended on spending the night with Kelsey because she was upset about what was going on with this neighbor. She said that she made it sound to Kelsey like the neighbor was taking over her stuff, her car keys, her house. And Echo was really upset about it. And so they were going to go confront this neighbor. She said they talked for hours about this. And Echo did seem frightened to her daughter, Kelsey. But Kelsey says she was taken back a little bit after this, because what happened after that, after being frightened and saying she was spending the night, she decided to go home. She decided, you know what? It's my house. I'm going home. So she went ahead and went back to her house that night. Now, remember, this was about a week or two before she disappeared. So she changed her mind. She decided to leave, and she headed back home. Kelsey does believe that her mom was going to go ahead and confront that neighbor. And Kelsey was not comfortable in the interview with Trisha from Web Sleuths to give any more information than that about these neighbors and who they are and what it was about with this guy.
2 months, Echo Lloyd hasn't used her cell phone, her credit cards, or even filled her prescriptions. Now her daughter is asking anyone with information to help find her. It's been nearly 55 days since anyone's seen Echo Lloyd.
She's not just my mom, she's a best friend.
The 48-year-old was last seen on Mother's Day in Edwards, Missouri. Her daughter, Kelsey Smith, says she would never lose contact.
My mom did not just wander off. That something has happened to my mom, and it's time for us to figure out what it is.
Benton County Sheriff Eric Knox says they need to find her. The FBI and Missouri Highway Patrol are assisting in the search.
She's on several medications that she does not have with her, nor does she have her billfold or her car. She is absolutely missing without a trace.
Both Smith and Knox are asking the public to come forward with tips about what could have happened to Echo.
I need people to listen and help get her face out there. I need someone brave to be able to step forward, because somebody knows what happened to my mom.
Somebody somewhere knows something, and we need that person or those people to step forward and help us out, to give closure to this family.
Smith says she feels helpless and her mother could be anywhere.
We need all the help we can get from whoever, whatever group. Bring your dogs, bring your planes, bring your boats, bring whatever you can, bring your people. There's so much land out here.
She says she won't give up until she finds Echo and brings her home.
I will never stop fighting for her. I will never stop being her voice. I will not stop until she is home.
If you'd like to submit a tip in this case, we'll have information on our website about how you can do
Take care,
that.
Kelly.
On May 9th, Kelsey spoke on the phone with her mom, and Echo also spent time with her two best friends. So this would be the day before Mother's Day, May 9th. Kelsey felt like her mom was pushing her not to come over on Mother's Day for some reason, and Kelsey really couldn't figure out why, but she said she really didn't want her to come over, and she tried to call her. She didn't answer the phone, so she went ahead over to her mom's house, dropped off flowers and a card on the front porch. The car was not there when she stopped in on Mother's Day. And Kelsey did not have keys to her mother's house. One of Echo's friends did claim to receive a text from Echo that day, Mother's Day, that said Happy Mother's Day to her. And the next day, Kelsey called her mom, and the call went to voicemail. She called the house phone. She spent all week trying to get a hold of her mom, Echo. And 5 days later, she said, "That's it. I'm going over there." She found a receipt from Walmart
Welcome,
that
Josie.
was dated May 10th, which would have been Mother's Day. And Echo's handwriting was actually on this receipt. There was also a text from a neighbor friend. Now, this person went to Walmart with Echo, this neighbor friend, who I am assuming is this one that was taking over her keys and car and house. This neighbor friend did go to Walmart with Echo on the 10th, that day where that receipt would have came from. This person often, I guess, would take Echo's car just to use for himself.
Doing this again. So everybody bear with me. It has been 6 months and 10 days since I've reported my mom, Echo Lloyd, missing. I'm sorry. She is 48 years young, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'4", about 110 pounds or so. Beautiful smile. Bear with me. Okay, she went missing the week of Mother's Day. Thanks, I love you. She went missing the week of Mother's Day this year. I reported her missing May 15th. There is nothing new in the case right now. She's still just a missing person. There is no body, no evidence, for anything to be seen as otherwise. So I'm out doing a little shopping.
This poor girl is going through it so bad.
And I've been so thankful and so happy about tomorrow because I'm so blessed to have the family I do.
Right, Nancy.
And I just want to let you guys in on Mom and what I'm missing, excuse me, and what we're missing. I have napkins somewhere. There they are. I have napkins this time. So my mom tends to be one of those people, not tends to be, is, who you have to kind of plan like an hour, 2-hour difference to make sure she's on time. So let's say the party starts at 2. You want to tell her it starts at noon to make sure she gets there on time. So something I'm missing this year, as silly as this is, I'm missing out on being able to giggle with my family and my siblings and my granny about how we've all had to
It is.
work the day around her getting ready, because Mama getting ready is a process, and she's beautiful no matter what, but it doesn't matter what you say, she's got her process of getting ready. And so we're all missing that this year. Someone, I'm so thankful, but at the same time, like, someone has to know something. I'm so angry that somebody knows something somewhere about who took my mom. Such a beautiful and amazing person. And I'm not the only one missing out this year. You know, we all are collectively as a family, and I'm so, these updates are so hard on me because I don't really have much to update, and I want to do so much. I really do, you know, and you don't know what to do at the same time. So it's deer season, hunting season. So I know, like, trying to go out collectively, maybe as a group, is not possible right now. But I've thought about, you know, doing bigger searches and things like that. There's just got to be more, you guys. There's got to be something that I'm missing, something that we're missing somewhere, because she didn't just disappear out of thin air like it appears she did. And she's missing her babies. I mean, somebody took away her being able to spend mine and my brother's sister-in-law's babies first, you know. She's missing out on that. We're missing out on that, and our babies are missing out on her. So everybody, please keep sharing her, I'm sorry guys, her information, share her photos, share her posters on here. Sorry, I don't have a poster to hold up right now, because like I said, I've been out, and I just felt like I needed to go ahead and just put out an update. So please, whoever might know something out there, be brave, be courageous, even if it's only for 5 seconds or 5 minutes. You'll be helping a whole family out.
Exactly, Critical.
Stay
We were getting
anonymous.
to that.
You could call Benton County Sheriff's Department. You can call Missouri State Highway Patrol. You can call Missing Persons Clearinghouse. And I will make sure to put those phone numbers down in the comments. I don't have them right offhand. So everybody just keep your eyes, keep your ears open. Hunters, anyone who goes out and hunts, especially around Camden or Benton County, please keep your eyes open to anything that may appear out of the ordinary. You never know what you could, be stumbling upon. Don't, of course, if you find anything, please back off. Please call the State Highway Patrol as soon as possible. Just call 911 and let them deal with the situation. But please keep your eyes open and your eyes peeled for her. You guys are all out there and all that timber. And you guys could be maybe our best bet if she could possibly be out there somewhere. We love you. I want to thank you guys. And again, just whoever may know what's happened to my mom, please come forward. I hope that everybody does have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
So that day, she went to her mom's house and she looked all around, and then she decided to go check on the neighbor's house. This is 5 days after she hasn't been able to get a hold of her mom. They wouldn't come to the door. Kelsey started yelling and threatening to call the police and getting really upset if they didn't answer, and saying, my mom, are you in? Is my mom in there? Mom, are you in there? So they finally came to the door. They said they had not seen Echo. And they asked, and Kelsey asked, do you have my mom's keys? And they said no. She took the keys, and she said she wanted to be alone. So Kelsey suspected that these neighbors were a little boundaryless, and they were the kind of people that would just, from what Echo had told Kelsey, these neighbors were the kind of the people that would just walk in the house unannounced, just walk in your house, had no boundaries, didn't care about your own personal boundaries. They thought your house, misa casa, su casa kind of thing is what I'm getting from this description of these people. So after she met with the neighbors and they said, we don't know where she is, we don't have her keys, we don't have nothing, Kelsey went back to her mother's and she got in her mother's house through a window. And she said the house seemed out of sorts. The house was not the same. She said her mom is normally a totally clean freak, OCD person, and it was not clean like it normally would be. She went in her mom's room and her mom's cigarettes were on the nightstand and her purse was under the nightstand where she usually keeps it. The car was there. The keys were not there. There was no missing makeup, no missing clothing, no missing duffel bag or suitcase, basically nothing missing except her medications were missing that she takes on a daily basis. And she did say these are the kind of medications that someone may want to steal. Her cell phone was gone and the house phone was disconnected. Kelsey decided to call the police then. They arrived and the investigation began. She really feels that someone abducted her mother. She was there that day for about 6 hours, and the next day they did a search on foot, and they felt that she didn't, law enforcement said they feel that she did not go missing from her own property. So there was supposed to be a dog search that was called off because they felt that this person, that Echo, did not go missing from her own yard, home. Family has done their own search. And Kelsey feels that the police are trying. She feels law enforcement is trying. She's not holding anything against them, saying that they're not working on the case. She said the state police are involved. Now, she did mention in her interview with Trisha that Texas EquiSearch, Tim Miller, will be coming up to assist with the search. They don't have the exact details or the exact date, but they have committed to coming up for the search of Echo. And they confirmed that they will be there. So that's great news. She asked if she knows if there was a video from the Walmart. And as far as Kelsey says, there's no video from the footage at Walmart, but that could just be law enforcement keeping that under wraps. The last public sighting was noted to be Echo, either that day or the day before at Dollar General. Now, Gray Hughes did call the Dollar General store in the area and confirmed that it was the one in Crystal Springs. They confirmed that she was there. So the way that the property is described, it's described as if it's a lot of land, like miles and miles of land or foresty land. We can look at it on the Google Maps. In posts, there's also mention of a gun that belongs to Echo. She did have a concealed carry permit and a gun. And there is mention in the post on social media that this gun was found somewhere outdoors. Now, there's also some talk, and I don't know how accurate this is, that law enforcement was not happy about this information being released because I guess it was maybe something that they wanted to keep under wraps, that the gun was found outdoors. And Trisha does bring that up. And
I'm not 100% sure, Sherry. I have issues with the Walmart situation and the neighbor. Like Arctic said, the neighbor, and of course the ex as well. The fact that she didn't want her kids to come over there on Mother's Day troubled me. They seem like a very tight-knit, close family. And I feel like that was somebody was controlling her at that point, possibly, you know, tell him not to come here, do this, do that, or she was protecting her kids because something was going on and somebody was taking her. I see it as Stormy.
And I feel like she made it home just simply because that gun was found outside, almost as if she had gone outside to confront someone.
Very possible. Yeah. Good point, Arctic. Thank you for making that statement. And because the gun was outside, you're not going to typically find that, you know, that's a strange situation all the way around. So it could be the neighbor. It could be the ex that she was confronting. And again, I still feel like she was either trying to protect her children from a situation if they were to show up at the house, or was threatened to, you better tell them not to come here, or this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah type situation, maybe. I definitely feel like she was abducted. I don't believe that she did this on her own record. I just don't. The only thing that made me think about that at some point was the fact that the medications that she took were gone. But as you heard her say, those medications were something somebody would want to steal. So I got to wonder if it was opioid type medication, pain medication, that's why they were gone. So it can go both sides in my opinion. So, Miss Sherry says, or someone got her gun and chased her, or threatened her with it and dropped. Yeah, it could be. It could be either one of them. That's a good point too, Sherry. So anyway, I just wanted to make that statement real quick, and onward we go.
And Kelsey does say she can't talk about that or doesn't want to talk about that particular subject. So we don't really have any details about where this gun might have been found, if there really was a gun, and why it would be outdoors versus being in the house where it would belong. Very interesting. Trisha asks her more about security cameras, and it sounds like the house she lives in is very remote, and there wouldn't be a lot of neighborhood cameras or any, if any, that would pick up anything or see anything in that area. The police have questioned the neighbors, including Mr. No Boundaries. He has been questioned. We don't know if there's any suspect, or if there's a person of interest, or if they seem to know anything, or if law enforcement feels like they're involved. None of that has been made clear. Now, I find it really interesting that there was a point where Echo was frightened and actually left her home to go stay at her daughter's and said this neighbor was a little too aggressive. I find that really interesting, and I would really like to know more about this person and why Echo was frightened of them and why she was giving them her keys in her car. Little bit suspicious right there. That one really makes me a little bit like, hold on, what's going on? Now,
welcome, Mom. Thank you for joining us. Are you familiar with this, Mom? This case at all?
Yes.
So what are your Arctic put his thoughts up? What are your thoughts on this one, since you are familiar too?
I don't trust the neighbor as far as I could throw him.
That's my biggest thing too, is the neighbor. To do the things that
But
this
I
neighbor
really like,
does.
side note, this creator is she's a really nice lady, and she did a lot on Lori Vallow too.
Yeah.
I've actually been in her lives.
Yeah, and 2 weeks after Echo went missing, the grandfather that this neighbor lived with ended up dead as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Arctic, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he like go in the house and like take a bunch of her stuff?
That's what the thought is. That's what is believed to have happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure I have my cases straight. Sorry, I'm still working on.
You're right, Mom. You're okay. Yeah, 2 weeks after this happened, the neighbor's grandfather, like I said, ended up dead. So that was strange. The neighbor the neighbor is my biggest thing. That's my biggest suspect at this point. And yes, this channel, by the way, guys, it's called Kathy Left Undone. She's very sweet. She's an awesome person. That's why I chose her, because there's so many out there, and not many like news stories and stuff on this. It's very hard to find them. So and I believe she's doing this from her heart, which is why I chose this one to commentate with. So anyway, I have a lot of issues with this neighbor, a whole lot. Okay. And that I don't know, was it she was afraid of the neighbor, in my opinion, and I feel like maybe she felt like she had to go to Walmart with the neighbor. Do you see what I'm saying? I have feelings of that she had a lot of fear of this person and was maybe felt threatened if she didn't go. We don't know what was said to her, so on and so forth. So that's what I wondered, that truly. But I get what you're saying, Critical. That's what why I think that. Welcome, Siggy and Mike. Good to see you again. Good to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Now, I have a couple of ideas and theories, and I think that there possibly might have been an altercation or an argument between Echo and that boundaryless neighbor on the day they went to Walmart, which would have been Mother's Day, May 10th. And maybe something went on and he did something to Echo. If Echo had unlocked the house to get the gun after everything was over, whoever did it could have just relocked the house with gloves on, or there's a huge wooded area near there. In my mind, there really may have been something that went on after that trip to Walmart. And remember, 2 weeks before, she was frightened of this neighbor. Then to be seen the last day she was ever seen or heard from was on a Walmart trip with the same neighbor. And why did these neighbors hesitate to come to the door? And with the daughter saying that the house was out of sorts, and she kind of listed things when she's talking to her, like, my mom doesn't leave dishes in the sink, she doesn't leave trash getting full. Did this person or someone make themselves at home in Echo's house after Echo was gotten rid of, taken care of? I don't know.
I really don't know, Peggy. That's a good question, though. It's an interesting question. But I don't know if they know each other or not.
Or was it just a regular random abduction where they came in and they got her and then they made themselves at home for a while? Her money was there, but her medicine's gone, which is interesting. It could have been somebody that was looking for drugs. I don't know what these medicines are, but Trisha does ask her if they are medications that somebody would want. So I'm thinking pain medications or prescribed medical marijuana, something like that. Like, what is this medication that she had that she would need to take that other people may want? The kind of medication. Thank you to all of you that have supported my show. Please consider becoming a Left Undone Patreon. You can help.
All right, guys. So again, like I said, the channel's called Left Undone with Kathy. Great channel. I'm trying to get the link in the chat and it won't let me do it. So hold on a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Everything is not working right today. Again, I need mini me or mini mom, mini monster. I need him in a bad way with this stuff. I don't get it, but okay. Either way, one moment here, guys. Jump back into this here. Hold on.
Yeah, like I said, Crickle, neighbor's always been my prime suspect. And I have to think about, do we know when that gun got put outside? Because if the neighbor had gotten a hold of the gun, apparently had free reign of the house and got a hold of her gun at some point, that could have been how she ended up taking the neighbor to Walmart, is he could have held her at gunpoint until
That's where I was going with that a little bit ago. Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. So again, when this happened, Michelle or Echo was 47 years old. May 10th, 2020, Mother's Day, like I said. Where are we at here? She was living alone, like I said, in a house, 10 acres by herself, near a lake in Edwards, Missouri. She spent her time renovating the house, working on various projects, so on and so forth. So just to reiterate this stuff, on the evening of May 9th of 2020, the day before Mother's Day, Echo spoke on the phone to Kelsey, her daughter. We all saw Kelsey. And at 3 p.m. on May 10th, Kelsey stopped by her mother's house in Edwards to wish her mother Happy Mother's Day. However, no one answered the door, and Echo's car was not in the driveway. Kelsey left flowers and Mother's Day card on the back porch with a note asking her mother to call her for the next 5 days. Kelsey attempted to contact her mother. Everything went directly to voicemail. On the 15th, Kelsey grew concerned, went back over her mother's house around 10:30. This time, her car was parked in the driveway. Okay. Now, that's strange to me because gone back. So it could have just been that she missed her at some point and then something happened after that. Upon knocking on the door, receiving no response, Kelsey broke in through window, but Echo was nowhere to be seen. Echo has never been heard from since that point. Kelsey filed missing persons report, like it says, Benton County Sheriff's Office, and was unable to find her mother. During the investigation part of it, Echo's cigarettes and lighter were found on a nightstand in her bedroom. Her purse and wallet containing her ID and some cash was found on the floor. However, the car keys, pistol, cellular phone, and medications disappeared with her. But see, that's wrong there because the gun was found in the backyard. They must have found that after the fact. According to her daughter, the house was found in a state of disarray with a pile of trash and moldy food lying on about. Echo had obsessive compulsive disorder, just like I am. Was known to keep her house super neat. The air conditioner was also on full blast. On May 10th, Echo was reported spotted by multiple people at a Dollar General store in Warsaw, Missouri. Furthermore, a Walmart receipt dated to May 10th with her signature on the bottom was also found in the home. Authorities believe Echo returned home on the 10th after her daughter left the flowers on the back porch and parked her car in the driveway. And I think that is where everything went. Okay. So, yeah, that answers Sherry's question that I believe she did come home. Thank you, Mom. From Walmart. And at that point, that's when everything went crazy. So maybe during that trip to Walmart is when the neighbor went nuts and did something. Okay. Made her come back to grab the medications, blah, 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 so on and so forth, whatever it was. But thank you, Mom. And I will pull that next. Excuse me. Her phone record, bank account, social media have not had any activity since her disappearance, which does bother me. Echo disappeared with her medication, which she was taking for unspecified reasons, but hasn't refilled her prescriptions since. So it's just something else that bothers me. According to her family, Echo has previously complained about her neighbor's possessive behavior and very aggressive as well, and was not sure how to approach him about that. The man, whose name has not been released publicly, denied any involvement in her disappearance. Of course he did. Foul play is expected in Echo's disappearance. A $7,000 reward is being offered for any information about Echo Lloyd's whereabouts. The circumstances of the disappearance remain unclear, and her case is currently classified as missing, and her case remains unsolved, sadly. Let me see something here. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Echo, guys, you can contact Missouri State Police at 1-800-877-3452, the Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 573-526-6178, or Benton County Sheriff's Office at 660-438-6135, or you can contact 911 and say, this is what this is what's going on. Give me just one moment, folks. I'll be right back.
How y'all doing?
See, here's the deal. Because if I was kidnapping someone, I would probably take their meds too, if nothing else, to make it look like they had left of their own accord.
Right.
Exactly. You want it to look as normal as possible if you're kidnapping somebody.
Exactly.
Make it look like they left on their own accord.
Say again, Mom.
Arctic said if he was going to kidnap somebody, he would take their meds, and I was fully agreeing with him because he would make it want to look like they left on their own accord.
Right. No, great point. Great point.
I just found this on Facebook, so I have not watched it.
Interesting.
But I was
Warrant issued.
subscribed to this channel, so
No, I appreciate it. I do. There's not a lot on this, guys. There's just everybody's doing what we're doing, you know? Um, there's not a lot of news coverage. There's not a lot of really anything else on this. Is really not. So
Yeah, and police have been holding a lot of information close to the chest. I mean, you think it's bad in Sebastian Rudder's case.
no,
They've given literally no real updates in this case.
nothing that I could find at least. So yeah, you are absolutely right, and that's why I really wanted to put this out because it needs to be, you know, it needs to be heard. So let's see what this is all about here, real quick. You guys hear it?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to let some audio play here, some background music, and then we'll kind of jump into this really quick. This is kind of an impromptu live stream. Didn't really plan on doing this today, but considering what has happened, just want to get on here and update everyone. And this is actually a case I haven't talked too much about, except for here recently. I might get into that later why, but for now, there's been a significant change in a certain case that we have been following for a while now. So if you saw the thumbnail or the image coming up when we started, there's been an arrest made for a person of interest in the Echo Michelle Lloyd case. So let me just quickly recap what has happened and where we're at with Echo, and then we'll just go right into the arrest warrant itself. So on May 14th of 2020 was the last time Echo Lloyd was seen, and it is reported that she was seen at her home. I'm going to just give you the facts of what we kind of know from what law enforcement has issued. So she was actually seen at her home. I'm not for sure who that reporting person was. We know that later on, her daughter, Echo's daughter, actually reported her missing. So with that being said, after Echo was reported missing, her neighbor was instantly a person of interest in Echo's disappearance. So as of yesterday, which was December 31st, New Year's Eve, there was an arrest warrant issued for, and this is public record, so Joshua Dwayne Smith, who was Echo's neighbor or lived in the same area at the time. At some other time, I will make a video and walk you.
Did one of you guys say something? No? Okay. Sorry. I thought I heard somebody say something. My apologies, guys.
Guys through, you know, the map of the area and everything like that. But because, like I said, this is kind of an impromptu thing, I'm just going to go ahead and roll right on through that. But basically, he was a neighbor. An arrest warrant was issued for an assault in the first degree because
this was put out 3 weeks ago, guys, which, so he's saying like New Year's Eve, blah, blah, blah. This was just literally this year. So very, very, very new stuff.
I'm not really for sure how this works. The type of assault this was a sexual assault in nature. So you guys can probably figure that out yourselves. So, the arrest warrant was issued and an arrest was made. Bond was set, I believe, at like $75,000 or something like that. But what ended up happening is an investigator, I believe with the Highway Patrol, with a phone interview with the alleged victim, stated that she was locked in a garage by Smith overnight. A gun was actually pointed at her, and she was threatened. Make sure I'm getting all this.
So they have found her?
No, they haven't found her.
Because this.
No,
Okay.
this is another girl.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry.
Unrelated.
All right, I
Yeah,
got
this
it,
is
Mom. Sorry.
unrelated charges.
Guys, I'm not always this dumb. My apologies. Jesus.
Correct here. A gun was pointed at her. Said that he had killed a person before and that she would be the next victim. Now, in the midst of this, she admits that both of them had been doing methamphetamine. He actually drove her to his home, and this is where the sexual assault took place. And that she actually believed Smith when he had stated that he had killed her, killed another person, and that he would actually go through with his threat of murdering her. At that point, he had forced her, I guess, to take a shower. So that is kind of where we're at. And let me just do this. Here is the actual statement that was made. Now, of course, this is redacted. This is where I pulled my information from. You can read this yourself. Also,
Okay, it says in several phone conversations with blank, date of birth blank, in an interview with, I can't read it. Blank told me she was locked in a garage from the night of July 3rd of 2020 by Smith until the morning of July 4th of 2020 in the county. Blank said blank was locked in the garage. Smith pointed a loaded gun to her face and said he killed another person and told her she could be his next victim. She said that had been using meth with Smith for several days and was having a hard time staying awake. She told me that blank was on the couch in the garage, barely maintaining consciousness, but was afraid to fall asleep because she feared Smith would kill her. And said blank was tired and weak, and Smith picked blank up, placed blank in his truck, drove blank to his house at whatever that is, Missouri, in Benton County, where he sexually assaulted her. Said Smith forced blank into his bed and said blank was too weak to fight and was curled up in a ball. Told Smith pulled down her shorts and down. Okay, anyway, I don't need to read all that. And from behind, and oh Jesus, okay, blah blah blah, and said believed that if she would have fought Smith, he would have killed her. Said later that day, Smith woke up and told her she must take a shower, and then Smith drove her to such and such house. Said Smith was not the father of blank, and they were never in a romantic relationship, and that blank never had consensual sex with Smith. Good God. Okay, it got a little bit detailed, guys. I didn't want to go there with you guys, but so there's that. Anyway.
So if you want to see the actual documents, there is a link in the description so that you can go and see the arrest warrants, all that information yourself.
I'll grab that.
So this video basically is just to update everyone on what has happened with the Echo Michelle Lloyd case. So that's basically kind of all the information that I have here for that. And of course, a warrant was actually issued for Joshua Dwayne Smith. And here is the original flyer that was put out. Now, this was updated recently. It was, I guess, there was a different date that they believe the last known contact with Echo was, but now that has been moved to the 14th. That is another kind of update that has happened. So, of course, at the
Okay, that's new to me too. If you look at it, it says the last contact was May 14th now. Okay. 2020. Got it. And all right, sorry guys.
time of this recording, this is actually New Year's Day, so this all took place last night or yesterday. So this is a major development in this case because it is alleged that the person that was arrested was actually involved in the disappearance of Echo Michelle Lloyd. Now, that being said, all parties are innocent until proven guilty. We're going to let justice kind of play out here, but hopefully, because of this situation, hopefully maybe we can get some answers in Echo's case, if indeed he was involved in this. I do want to say this to the person that did come forward and report the assault. We're praying for you. Our thoughts are going out to you. It was very brave to come forward and just surround yourselves with your best friends, your family, and
so my understanding though is that this other woman, she waited 3 years roughly to do this. I don't know if it was out of fear, what it was. Obviously she thought because he threatened to kill her too, but that's my understanding, at least at this point, that's what happened. So excuse me.
There is help available to you if need be. Professional help. I wish I put links in the description for that, because at any time anybody needs help, there's always places to go. Especially if it's a self-harm situation, which we've done some videos lately about that. If you're ever in distress, call 911. Always call 911. So that is the quickest way to get help. But that being said, gonna kind of shoot from the hip here. The reason why we cover this is because this is one of the cases that I don't know, it's actually close to where I live physically. And I must honestly say that, this case reminds me a lot of the Angela Hammond case that, here's a small town.
All right, guys, hold on a second. I want to try to pull this warrant up real quick for you guys to see. Thank you so much, Miss Kaylee. Gifted another membership, another meatball. I can't tell who got it right this second, but thank you so very much for that. So very, very generous of you. We appreciate you so very much on that.
Aquarius Yaya 420.
Welcome to the sauce, Aquarius. Congratulations and thank you again, Kaylee. Welcome to the family. We appreciate you very much for being here. Oh, no problem, Peggy. No problem. Okay, so let me pull this warrant. Where'd it go? Okay, so I'm not real keen on how to read theirs, but from what I can tell, I don't even know if you guys can see this. Hold on. That might help a little bit more. Okay. Scheduled for February 11th is the next hearing on this. Where the hell is the charge? Complaint filed. Amended complaint filed. Am I missing the charge on here?
If you click the amended complaint,
Is that the one?
like
Okay.
it's hyperlinked.
There it is. Okay, thank you. That's what I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to hit something and go in the wrong direction. Here we go. Thanks, Arctic. Again, count 1, rape in the first degree. Range of punishment. Okay, prosecuting attorney brings these charges upon his information and belief, the facts that form the basis for this information and beliefs contained in the attached statements when aware of. Okay, down below, is that all redacted? Witness. Okay. Yeah, I guess it is. But Joshua Dwayne Smith is the neighbor, is the one being charged with this in Benton County. So, and like I said, it's all, I think it's all redacted. I can't read it. Yeah, it's blanked out. Not official court dog. Okay, so there's that. Hold on a minute. Let me back out of this. See if this changes. Nope. Okay, same thing. February 11th is the next hearing on it. Hold on. There's everything else has been redacted, like with the girl's name and stuff, which I understand. Is this the initial? Everything's been redacted. Okay. And again, I respect that. Probable cause statement filed. Again, same thing. Okay. Well, I mean, that kind of gives a bit of an answer to this in a sense, but at this point, if this happened in 2020, where is she? What exactly happened? It's probably, I doubt that the guy's going to come forth and say what he did per se. This is the exhibit.
Unless they're willing to cut a deal with him and give him manslaughter in return for him telling us where Echo's at.
Considering, well, depending on what happened too, that's the other side of it. But yeah. Wow, thanks for finding this, Mom. I had no idea this even existed, and I was looking all over the place for stuff. Wow.
He bonded out the next day.
Did he really? So we have, yeah, we got a couple weeks. We'll see if he shows up for his. You think he's going to show up for his hearing? Probably not. Piece of shit. Yeah, there's the warrant. I wonder. What is his name? Is Molly in here? If she is, I'm surprised she hasn't done it yet. But
I think she popped in earlier.
Right. Joshua Dwayne Smith. How old is this guy, I wonder?
She'd be lurking in the cat tree. She could pop up any second.
She always does. She always does.
Unless she gets in that catnip, then we just don't know.
Then we just won't see her for a while, right? She'll be rolling around on the floor with her paws up in the air, you know.
Seriously.
Let me see if I can pull. So I don't think there's really anything else he
just answers. So with that being said, I'm going to get off here, and it's time to get back to work.
Okay. Again, thank you, Mom. I didn't even know that existed. That was wild.
I guess it was meant to be shown because when I went to grab the Facebook group, it was right underneath the Arctic. So I was like, oh, snap.
Oh, right. That's how it works. Oh, okay.
I ran through it real quick and then popped it in back chat. I told you she was lurking in the cat tree.
She already did. I figured she'd have. Okay. Can you do what you just did here for Joshua Dwayne Smith, Molly?
That I'm getting the Josh dude now.
Okay, then there it is. I figured it is what it is. This is what Molly does. Yeah, okay. I got all Echo stuff, but I don't. That's what I'm curious about now is this Joshua Smith guy. It's okay, Molly. Thank you. Take your time, dear. Figures. All right. Okay, so it went up to a $9,000 reward at this moment. Yeah.
So he was 40 in 2020. He'd be 45 years old now.
45, right? Thank you, Arctic. That way you can make sure it's the right one, Molly, just in case. Oh wow, what an interesting turn of events. Which is good. Hopefully it'll give some closure. But for Kelsey, this is not the ending that she's probably expecting, and I hate to say that, but it's very, very horrible. So anyway, let me move to this next thing, just in case, and just because. If it'll let me do it. Come on, pewter. Doesn't want to cooperate with my. Oh, thank you, Cap. I wish I was, but I don't think I am. Oh, come on. Stop not loading. Damn it. By the way, Mama Bear, I got a link yesterday. You weren't up here when I said it. Neither was Mom, but yesterday was the channel birthday. 3 years.
Oh, awesome.
3 years since the very first video I ever did, which I didn't even realize, but yes. So
Very cool.
we done made it 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. It seems like to me a lot longer, but it's only been the tree. It's okay though. All right. I wish what was it, Kelsey and her sister. I wish Barb would have been able to get, but she's been busy, so I know. Understand completely. Oh, no worries, Green Eye. Thank you. Food's more important than me. I promise you that much. Appreciate you listening in. Is this gonna let me do this or not? Let's try this next one here. And I just wanted to put a little more out. Some of these things I looked at, some had different information, a little more information, but we have this update now, which I think is really kind of what it is. So it keeps giving me these things. Hey, Dragonfly, this has become unresponsive. This is doing this. That's doing. Yeah, it's been doing this for 2 days now. I don't understand why. Thank you, Cap. Appreciate that. Again, great to see you, Dragonfly. Thanks for joining us. Everybody, please accept my apology as to how the performance is with this stuff. I'm so sorry.
Did you ever clear your cache like what was suggested to you?
I tried. I don't even know where to go to do the full deal with this computer. This is not a real, like, this was built and I didn't know any of this stuff. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Molly. That was quick. Open Sesame. Okay, so well, she don't play around. All right, move this. Joshua Dwayne Smith, 39, born November 85. So he's younger than Echo, right? Yeah.
Jago, you realize you just doxed this guy's address for everyone to see? It's on that paperwork he just had up on the screen.
Hold on. Sorry. No, I didn't see that at first. Sorry about that.
You can edit that out though, can't you? Before.
Yeah, I'll clip it. No big deal. I didn't realize that was on there, Molly. It's okay though. My apologies. My fault. I should have looked at it before I threw it up. Okay. All right, so I will put this up here too again, just because. What is going on? Some things are working, some things aren't working. Okay, so that is the newer missing poster, I do believe. That's a good shot of her face. And again, anybody that has any information more than what we know at this point, please contact Missouri State Police or Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 573-526-6178. Well, geez. Kind of took everything else out. That's it at that point there. Okay. Yeah, it's no big deal. I'll clip it. Ew. I don't think I could handle having a Nancy Grace doll. I just don't. Sorry. Okay, so let's bounce out of that one there. All right. Maybe it's just something's lagging, making it lag for some reason. It'll come up, and then when I go to click on the things that have been downloaded or click on something, that's where the delay comes into play. Weird. Especially when I hit the download button. Okay. I guess they're gonna run. We're getting there. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so that is going to be my MPS 35. What do you mean? What does that mean, critical? My internet stuff? I don't think that's it, because other things are working fine, and this is a new thing. I have are you talking about internet? Is that what that means? MPS 35 megabytes per second. Oh, that I don't know right out of the gate. I'd have to look it up. I'm sorry.
Is it just not letting you open it or what?
It's just like things are delayed. If I click on a button or like on a link or something,
Mhm.
I'll click it, and then 30 seconds to a minute later, it finally opens. It's never done this before.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it says there's no infections. There's no G-Force game ready driver is available. I don't think I need that, do I? Is a driver update? It shouldn't make this happen, but I don't think so. Yeah, I shut it off every night. Sorry, everybody. All right, so let's do this then, because there's really nothing else I have on that situation there now that we've had that update as well. So what I'm gonna do then is go over here to a couple of these things that Arctic has sent over here that are just as important as everything else we've looked into. So let's look at hold on here. Let me go down to this part here. Yep, this one here. Y'all can thank Arctic.
What is going?
You guys can thank Arctic for this next version. Let me see here. Yeah, this won't be too long either. This is one of the ones that Arctic sent over for us to look into. So we can do a 2 for today. All right, and this is working, so no problem, Doodle. All right, here we go. You remember this one, Arctic? I mean, it's yours, but do you remember doing this? Ashley Freeman, Loria.
Yeah. That's the one that I was telling you about out of Oklahoma, where the trailer caught on fire and they initially only found one body. It's a wild case. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured what the heck, since we covered that one so quickly, we can throw this out here too. So this one is quite wild, folks. So pay attention.
What's going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at yet another cold case, guys. Now this one takes place in my home state of Oklahoma, and it goes back to the 30th of December 1999, when a horrific fire would lead to a grisly discovery and also to the disappearances of two 16-year-old girls, Ashley Freeman and Loria Bible. To this day, their disappearance and this fire remains one of Oklahoma's greatest mysteries. Now, we have to set the tone for the time. Most of us at that time, if we were around, were concerned about Y2K, wiping out all of our computers as we moved into the new millennium. But this fear was much ado about nothing, as there were very few computer failures reported, and everything was fine as we moved from 1999 into 2000. But in northeast Oklahoma, concerns were of a different nature. A fatal fire was instead the hot topic, and the search for two missing girls had put the angst of the new millennium on the back burner. In the early morning hours of the 30th of December 1999, firemen were dispatched to a blaze near the small town of Welch, which is about 70 miles northeast of Tulsa and only 13 miles from the Kansas state line. The mobile home of the area's most infamous family had been reduced to rubble. The parents, Danny and Kathy Freeman, were found amidst the debris. Both of them had been shot to death prior to the setting of the fire. The Freeman's daughter, Ashley, and her best friend, Loria Bible, were not found. The fire was ultimately determined to have been arson, and some speculated that Ashley and Loria, both 16 at the time, may have murdered Ashley's parents. But recent developments suggest that the girls instead were likely kidnapped in the chaos of the fire. Ashley Freeman and Loria Bible are still missing, and the girls may have made it to the next millennium, but they were probably, in my opinion, murdered shortly thereafter. Friends described 37-year-old Kathy Freeman as a dependable, caring, and giving individual. She was well liked and respected throughout the community. However, her husband is a completely different story and had a horrible reputation. 40-year-old Danny Freeman was said by many to possess a violent temper. In 1985, he was arrested for beating his father-in-law, who had simply trimmed his bushes without asking. The charges, however, would eventually be dropped. Because of a previous employment-related injury, Danny, who was a laborer, had difficulty working, and the family relied on Kathy's modest income from her job at the doctor's optical supply company. Money was so tight, in fact, that the couple's trailer home did not even have running water, and it was heated primarily by a wood-burning stove in the living room. The Freemans were at odds with local law enforcement over an incident 1 year earlier that resulted in the death of their 17-year-old son, Shane. In 1998, Shane had been caught stealing his uncle's pickup, and a court ordered him to enroll in a counseling program through the Oklahoma Department of Human Services. Later that year, in August, Danny would be charged with abusing his son after a school counselor told police she had found Shane's buttocks bleeding and badly bruised. During a pre-trial hearing, however, Shane told the court that he was no longer fearful of his father. It had also been rumored that Danny had been sexually abusing Ashley. 5 months later, in January of 1999, Shane would return to theft as he was caught breaking into the residence of Jay and Lorraine Bible, the parents of Ashley's best friend, Loria. The Bibles filed a complaint with the police saying Shane took several of their firearms and some of Loria's belongings and money. A few days later, on the evening of the 8th of January, Deputy David Hayes of the Craig County Sheriff's Department came upon Shane beside a parked car along a country road. Shane told him the vehicle had broken down, but the deputy ran a check on the license plate and found that it had been stolen. As Deputy Hayes approached Shane to arrest him, he said Shane reached behind his back and pulled a gun on him, forcing him to return fire. Shane was hit and died from his wounds. An investigative panel ruled the shooting had been justified. In February of 1999, 1 month after Shane's death, Danny asked several people about the locations of Deputy Hayes' residence. Some feared he was planning to avenge Shane's death by attacking the cop. Despite Shane's death, Danny's trial for the child abuse charges began 1 month later in March. Unable to reach a verdict, the jury asked the judge if they could order Danny to attend counseling. After the request was refused, Danny was acquitted of the charges. The Freemans did not accept the finding that Deputy Hayes had shot Shane in self-defense, and they believed that their son was attempting to flee and that he had not pulled a weapon on the lawman. The couple began the process of filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the Craig County Sheriff's Office. Shortly thereafter, Danny and Kathy told friends that deputies had began harassing and intimidating them. The Freemans alleged that they were frequently pulled over on claims of false traffic violations and that the deputies suggested to them in veiled terms that it would be in their best interest not to pursue a lawsuit. In addition, the Freemans claimed that several officers' cars were frequently parked outside their trailer for no apparent reason. On the evening of the 29th of December, 1999, Danny and Kathy held a party at their trailer home for Ashley's 16th birthday. Also present were Ashley's boyfriend, Jeremy Hurst, and her best friend, Loria Bible. That evening, Kathy, Ashley, and Loria were seen in Kathy's blue Toyota picking up supplies for their livestock. Loria had called her mother and said that they were going to eat in Veneta, 17 miles south of Welch. They were later seen eating at Big Bill's Barbecue in Veneta. Jeremy said he met the group at the local Walmart after their dinner and returned to their home with them to celebrate Ashley's birthday. He said that everything was fine when he left at around 9:30 p.m. A relative of Danny who visited their residence, however, says that Jeremy did not leave until around 10:30 p.m. Loria spent the night at the Freeman home, and authorities say that no outgoing telephone calls were made from the trailer during the night. Loria had a dental appointment the morning of December the 30th, and Kathy planned to take an eager Ashley to test for her driver's license. Afterwards, she and Danny had planned to go to the Craig County Courthouse where they were to meet with lawyers regarding the civil lawsuit against the sheriff's department over Shane's death. None of the errands, however, were ever completed. At 6 a.m. on December the 30th, a motorist phoned the local fire department after seeing the Freeman trailer ablaze. The flames took over 2 hours to extinguish, and by that time, the home had been reduced to ashes. Investigators determined the fire was arson caused by an accelerant near the wood-burning stove. The Freeman's car, as well as the vehicles of Ashley and Loria, were found on the property. Loria's car keys were still inside the ignition. Investigators expected to find 4 bodies beneath the rubble, but were surprised to find only one. Kathy Freeman was lying on the floor in the bedroom. The results of her autopsy were even more surprising. The Craig County coroner determined that Kathy had been killed by a shotgun wound to her head. The approximate time of her death was around 5 a.m., 1 hour before the fire was reported. This finding led police to believe that Kathy may have been killed by Danny, who had then fled, taking Ashley and Loria with him. That theory was disproven the following day as investigators' contention that they had conducted a thorough examination at the scene. Loria's parents, Jay and Lorraine Bible, returned to the Freeman property on the morning of the 31st of December. After 5 minutes of sifting through the rubble, they found another body beneath the debris. It was burned almost beyond recognition, but it would be positively identified as that of Danny Freeman. Like Kathy, he was found in the bedroom of the home and had been shot at close range with a shotgun. His right collarbone had been fractured prior to the entrance of the fatal wound. The Bible's amateur sleuthing had made the professional lawmen look like laymen. The following day, authorities conducted a re-examination of the crime scene, but they found no additional bodies. Danny's extensive collection of arrowheads was not in the rubble, and it's never been located. Many area residents suspected local law enforcement was involved in the murders of Danny and Kathy Freeman due to their anger over the potential lawsuit regarding Shane's shooting. As such speculation grew, the Craig County Sheriff's Department voluntarily turned the case over to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. The OSBI says everyone within the Craig County Sheriff's Department, including deputies David Hayes, who had shot Shane Freeman to death, and his brother Stephen, cooperated with them and consented to polygraph examinations. After the investigation was completed, all members of the Craig County Sheriff's Office were cleared of any involvement in the murders of Danny and Kathy Freeman. Danny was reputed to be a small-time drug dealer and user, allegedly growing marijuana near the family's trailer, with the local authorities cleared. Many theorized that his murder had been drug-related. An informant claims that Danny had met with 2 unidentified men 2 weeks prior to his murder and had a heated argument with one of them. Ashley's purse was found amidst the fire debris of the burned home, and her learner's permit and $200 were inside, but the possibility of more missing money fueled speculation that she may have killed her parents and fled with Loria. Jeremy Hurst, Ashley's boyfriend, told police that she had been saving money to purchase a car she planned to buy after obtaining her driver's license. He said that she stored money in a Tupperware container in her bedroom, unbeknownst to her parents. Jeremy believed that she had somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000, but police were unable to locate any evidence of the money or the Tupperware container after the fire. Friends say that the car Ashley wanted to purchase was a source of friction between her and her parents, particularly with Danny, who wanted her to buy a different car. OSBI authorities concluded it was unlikely that Ashley had killed her parents, believing that she and Loria could not stay hidden and that nothing in either girl's background suggests that they were capable of such brutal acts. In May of 2002, convicted murderer Tommy Sells wrote a letter to the Joplin Globe claiming he was involved in Ashley and Loria's disappearance. Sells said that he traveled through Welch and Bonita, Oklahoma while returning from St. Louis on the evening that the girls were last seen. He contended his memories were clouded by drug use, but that he thought he had set a fire and burned the bodies of 2 girls. Sells had been imprisoned in Texas at the time of his claim, convicted of 2 murders occurring in 1999, the strangling of 9-year-old Mary Perez in San Antonio in April, and the rape and stabbing of 13-year-old Katie Harris in Del Rio on the 31st of December, the day after the fire at the Freeman home near Welch, Oklahoma. For those murders, Sells was executed by lethal injection in April of 2014. Sells claimed to have murdered nearly 70 people, and authorities have connected his possible involvement to 22 homicides, but do not believe the Freeman family and the Loria Bible were among his victims, saying there are too many inconsistencies in his story. Another suspect is Jeremy Jones, who has been convicted of murdering a teenage girl and a woman, and who is a suspect in several murders and disappearances in 6 states. Jones lived near Miami, Oklahoma, 13 miles east of Welch, in the far northeast corner of the state at the time of the Freeman fire. He had been released from jail at 10:30 p.m. on the evening of the 30th of December, only 7.5 hours before the fire at the Freeman home was discovered. Jones moved out of the area shortly thereafter. Similar to Danny and Kathy Freeman, one of Jones' victims had been shot to death before her house had been set on fire. And investigators say there are other similarities between the murders. When questioned, Jones confessed to murdering them and to abducting Ashley and Loria, saying he committed the crimes as a favor to a friend over a drug debt. After kidnapping the girls, Jones said he took them to Kansas, shot them, and disposed of their bodies in an abandoned mine shaft near Galena, 37 miles northeast of Welch, Oklahoma. A search of the mine, however, yielded no trace of the girls. Jones later recanted his confession, saying he lied to police to get better food and extra privileges in the prison. Jeremy Jones is now on death row in Alabama for murdering a woman from Turnerville, and investigators have named him a suspect in 21 murders, including for many years those of Danny and Kathy Freeman. They now, however, no longer believe him to have been involved in the Freeman's murders. In April of 2018, over 18 years after Ashley Freeman and Loria Bible vanished, authorities announced that they believe that they have identified the people responsible for their disappearances and the murders of Danny and Kathy Freeman. The crimes, as theorized for many years, are believed to have been drug-related. Multiple people told police that 3 known meth dealers, Ronnie Buck and the now deceased Phil Welch and David Pennington, arrived at the Freeman trailer to collect drug money owed to them by Danny. An affidavit states that an insurance card found near the original scene was traced to a car belonging to Welch and helped connect him to Busick and Pennington. It is believed that Ashley and Loria entered the room as the men confronted Danny and Kathy. The perpetrators then proceeded to kill Danny and Kathy, set fire to the trailer, and kidnap Ashley and Loria. These events occurred either late in the evening of the 29th of December, 1999, or in the early morning hours of the 30th of December, following Ashley's birthday party. Ashley and Loria are believed to have been taken forcibly to the Phil Welch home in Pitcher, which is 23 miles north of the town of Welch, where they were raped and tortured for several days. Multiple people said the men showed them Polaroids of their prized captives and said that they threatened them if they went to police. Several of the photographs reportedly showed Welch lying on the bed next to the girls, who were bound and gagged with duct tape over their mouth. The affidavit states that Loria Bible and Ashley Freeman were drugged and raped for several days before they were strangled to death, and that their bodies were dumped into a pit, which may have been a mine shaft near Pitcher or a cellar that was later covered in concrete. A search of nearby facilities found no trace of the girls. In a plea deal on the 15th of July, 2020, Ronnie Busick pled guilty to accessory to first-degree murder in the deaths of Danny and Kathy Freeman. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison with credit for 2 years of time served and 5 years probation. As part of the plea, Busick is required to assist authorities with locating the remains of Loria and Ashley. Investigators say he repeatedly said the root cellar during multiple interviews. Searches of nearly 400 mine shafts in and around Pitcher, Oklahoma, have not produced the girls' remains. The most recent was on the 7th of October, 2021, the search of the root cellar of a home once occupied by David Pennington. For his designation as a model prisoner, Lonnie Busick was released from prison on the 27th of October 2023 after serving only 2.5 years of his sentence. Ashley Freeman and Loria Bible have been missing since the 29th of December 1999. Both girls were only 16 years old at the time of their disappearance and were likely murdered, but are still officially listed as missing persons. Ashley Renee Freeman stood at 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds at the time of her disappearance. She had a scar on her upper left side of her forehead, dark blonde hair, blue eyes, and an athletic build. Loria Jaylene Bible, a Native American with brown hair and hazel eyes, stood at 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighed 130 pounds when last seen. She had a mole under her nose and a scar on the top of her head, and both of her ears were pierced. Both Ashley and Loria would be 40 years old today. If you have any information on their whereabouts, you can contact the Federal Bureau of Investigation at 405-290-7770, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation at 800-522-8017, and the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation is offering up to $10,000 for credible information, and a private reward of $50,000 is also being offered. Several of the Freeman's relatives, as well as those of Loria Bible, participated in the pilot of the television program What Really Happened. The show was recorded in 2001, but it wasn't purchased by any network, and the episode has never been broadcast. Deanna Dorsey, a nurse who assisted the Freemans on the night of Shane's death, appeared on the show, and her daughter was a friend of Ashley. A few days after Deanna's interview was completed, she was shot and killed while working at Veneta's Craig General Hospital. Police say a paranoid schizophrenic, Ricky Martin, killed her because he was angry over the facility's downsizing, and he was killed in a struggle with police shortly after he murdered Deanna. Some people believe there may be a connection between Deanna Dorsey's murder and that of the Freemans, but no evidence has been found to support that theory as of yet. And so this case is one that is very convoluted. There is a litany of people involved in it, and it's hard to make heads or tails of what happened. Now, law enforcement believes that it's the 3 meth dealers that are responsible for both the murders of the Freemans and the disappearance and likely murder of Ashley and Loria. I don't know, guys. There's a lot to this one, and I know it's a lot to take in everything. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Danny was a very shady guy, to put it mildly. And Shane, their son, who had been killed by law enforcement, he was taking after his father and following in his footsteps by all accounts. Is it possible that law enforcement was involved in this and that the OSBI helped cover everything up? I don't know. I find that unlikely, but there is that possibility. I still think that I agree with law enforcement that the 3 meth heads were likely involved. There were witnesses. There was the insurance card that led law enforcement to connect them to this. I don't think that it was Tommy Sells, because he has a history of lying about committing crimes that he had nothing to do with. But this has been a long one, guys, and it's been one that really boggles the mind. What I need you to do, though, is to smash that like button. Let's get this out into the YouTube algorithm. Maybe we can come forward with some answers as to what happened to Ashley and Loria all those years ago. As always, I do want to ask you to share it to your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, because the more people that see this, the better the chances are that maybe someone will step forward and say something that breaks the case open. As always, I do want to thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Y'all be kind to one another out there, and I'll see you soon in the next one.
All right, guys. First and foremost, I want everybody to take that link there. If you have not, jump over to Arctic's channel real quick, guys. It just takes a minute. I ain't going nowhere. Hit the like button on this video here. It's called A Horrific Fire, 2 Dead Bodies and 2 Missing Girls. Please hit the like button on that. Share it out throughout all your social media platforms, so on and so forth. If you have not yet subscribed to Arctic, please do that. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything this guy does. He's always busy, guys. So thank you, Arctic, for putting that video together.
Oh, no problem.
And everybody, please do that if you would. I appreciate that very much. You got a 2 for today. Like I said, I had other stuff going on for Echo's case, but with that update we just got, it's going to open up some other doors that I have to wait and see what happens. And there really wasn't much of anything else I could put out besides what we know about Echo, sadly. Now, if I were able to get in contact with Kelsey and or Echo's sister, that would be a whole thing, and we could do a whole other show with it. But at this point now, with the update that just happened with the arrest, I think we need to step back and just wait and see what happens for a minute too, because something very well may come from that. I'm just curious. That was really surprising to see that, because I was looking around for stuff like that last night. Nothing. I just guess I didn't look in the right place. So, here we go with that. Great job on that, Arctic. Really, really good job. For anybody that's curious, what do you truly think on this, Arctic? At your point, like at this point now with this one, what do you think happened to these 2 girls?
I think that the meth dealers are responsible. I think the guy that made the confession that he killed, the mom and the dad, and then kidnapped the 2 girls. I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that sounds like the most viable, situation in my opinion. Hopefully something can come from this, and hopefully they'll figure out where these 2 are so they can get in my opinion, a proper burial. The whole thing's crazy, going all the way back to, Danny and Shane, and the whole situation is it's wild, very wild. So, yeah, hey, that's SRB. I didn't even see her today. Thank you, SRB, and welcome. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see. I did not plan for things to go this way. And is everything working now? It may be. Yes. Okay. Give me one moment here. One minute, please. Okay. Okay. There is that. And
I'm sorry, Groot. That's not good, honey.
Headaches are the worst.
Oh, God.
And blood clots, too. You better get yourself to the hospital if you need to, Groot.
They're in the hospital since Sunday.
Oh, God, yeah. I didn't see that part.
That's not good.
And do they have you on any blood thinners at all?
If there was a clot, I guarantee it, yeah.
I know in the hospital they'll do the, oh gosh, which one is it called? It's someone that you have to inject into you and all that stuff.
Heparin,
yeah. And then after Austin got out with his, they put him on that Eliquis. So
right. That's an ongoing, keeps working. Heparin's a fast acting scenario. Well, I hope you're doing okay, Groot. Getting better. And you're still here with us. That's amazing. So we appreciate you very much. Hold on here. I'm trying to see this other thing. And all right, let's see. All right. Is it gonna work? It's actually gonna work. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank the Lord. Let me see this. Okay, since we're Paige Bell, Kayla, but totally right. Oh, welcome, Paige. We just put it up today. I'm sure you do. Good Lord. Wow. Let me find that link again. Let me see. Where did it go? Give me one moment, Paige. I just had it this morning here. It's in here.
Groot, you have blood clots on your skin? Not heard of that.
Where is Kayla's? Paige, if you're welcome to jump up here and join us and have a discussion with us if you'd like to about your mother. To help put out some extra information about her. I would be honored if you wanted to. Just trying to find her poster again, and I can't seem to where did it go? There's so many in here, you guys. Okay, Paige, absolutely. You guys are okay with that, of course.
Yeah, and I resent the flyer in your Discord.
Thank you. Okay, here's what we do then. Paige, if you'd like to click this link down here at the very bottom, it says StreamYard on it. Click that link. It'll bring you backstage. I just need you to show me your face for one quick second backstage just to make sure you're a human being. We'll bring you on up and we can have a conversation about this if you'd like to. I think that'd be wonderful. It'd help to get the word out, get some information out about your mom, and spread the word. Truly, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Arctic, for that too. There it is. Someone that we just got. Doodle sent over this morning. Bingo. That's why I was looking in the wrong place. Good Lord. Here we go. Yeah, there's great community of people here, Paige, to support you through this. And it, a lot of these people understand, and a lot of the creators that are in here right now, we're all about this, and this is what we're here for. So you will absolutely be supported. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is actually great because I would love to hear a little bit more, a little more detailed information from somebody close to Kayla. Maybe it worked out well that we had a shorter show on Echo today then to give us that time. And if you're having issues with anything with doing this, Paige, just let me know. Oh, maybe not. Okay, there she is. Good deal. You don't have to leave your camera on if you're not comfortable with it, by the way, hon.
Oh, it's fine. I don't care.
Okay, welcome. Very, very welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. This worked out perfect today. So your name is Paige Bell.
Yes. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna grab my headphones.
Okay, take your time. Well, this works out. Definitely be helpful. I can see the resemblance already. Looking at this picture and looking at her. Are you still in here, Doodle?
All right.
Absolutely. Welcome, welcome. Again, I'm sorry we're meeting under this circumstance. Well,
I need the coverage and everything. So
no, that's absolutely what we're here for. I can see the resemblance. You're both very beautiful. I can see right there. So
thank you.
I appreciate you taking some time to jump up here. First off, did I pronounce her name Kayla? Is that correct?
Yes, it's Kayla Marie Vincent Vitoli.
Okay.
We're not sure if she ever actually, once her and my stepdad divorced, we're not sure if she actually ever changed her name back. So we put both of them out there.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. You have me here. Our Arctic Fox is an advocate as well for the missing. Mama Bear is my co-host and co-administrator with the channel, and also an advocate.
Hello.
Doodlebug was up here. She's in a chat somewhere, I think, but she's an advocate as well. And Mina Monsters is an advocate for the missing as well. There's a lot of us in here, so we're all here to help you. Hopefully we can. So if you don't mind, if you have the time, if you want to kind of give us the 411 on what happened when and how and what was going on around that and everything.
So January 7th of 2023, my mom was acting a little out of character. She started calling all the family members, stopping by and seeing people. She tried to reach out to me, but I was unavailable at the time. She even called me the morning of the 8th, and I wasn't able to answer my phone. And then the next morning, about halfway through the day, I get a phone call from my aunt asking if I had heard from my mom, and I had said no, and they told me that nobody can find her anywhere. That day, I've heard a couple different stories. There was a man involved. I don't really want to put his name out there right now because there's nothing legal-wise that points out to he did anything. I truly believe that he did because of what happened a couple weeks before she went missing. But they were, I guess, having some type of disagreement, and she got dressed, went into the living room because they were staying with an older woman. She gave the older woman a hug, told her that she loved her, and said she was on borrowed time before proceeding to walk out the house. And then the man says that there was about 15-20 minutes before he got up and went looking for her.
So he was kind of like a boyfriend type person to her?
Yes,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
he was extremely abusive to
Okay.
her. And that's why I feel like he truly did do something to her, because she had tried to leave him multiple occasions before, and
he
always found her. Yeah,
Right.
and he always got her to come back home. And this woman, my mom, never was not on social media. She was on Facebook just about every single day, multiple times a day, posting hundreds of pictures of herself.
Sure.
So for her to just go cold and leave her phone behind at the home was extremely weird of her.
Mm-hmm.
She never went more than 2 or 3 days without contacting me. If she couldn't get into her old Facebook account, she would just make a new one and message me on it.
Okay.
So for her to just completely drop me out of everybody, that is what isn't adding up.
Right.
And about an hour into his search for her, he was riding around on a four-wheeler. A neighbor had called the Jersey County sheriffs because they were reporting trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, it took the sheriffs about an hour to respond to the call because it was just a trespassing call. They had bigger fish to fry.
Sure.
So that was 2 hours after she had walked out of her front door before the cops had even shown up.
And he had gone looking for her after she walked out too.
Yes, he was riding around with Narcan. He has tried to convince me and my family multiple times that she was suicidal. But a couple weeks before her disappearance, she had in her mind that she was getting money from my great grandma, who had just passed away.
Okay.
Everyone on the family knew that that wasn't the case, but if she truly believed that, it doesn't make sense for her to just want to off herself.
Sure.
And she was also trying to get her IDs reinstated and get a new copy of her social because she had lost all that stuff. So she was trying to get all this stuff in order to where she could receive the money that she thought was coming to her.
Right.
But he told us all that she was suicidal and had been making comments for quite some time. But I had never seen that side of her, and my mom and I were pretty close.
Okay.
So she told me just about everything, even the stuff that she thought was kind of hard for me to hear.
Of course, yeah. Well, that's good. At least you guys were close, and it gives you a little bit more detail into what was going on with her. So that's awesome. Okay, so then, once that day goes by and everything, and he's out looking around, so what proceeded from that point forward, if anything?
The officers that were heading the case questioned him a couple times and said that his story stayed pretty consistent, and that it didn't seem like he would have had enough time to do anything. They did conduct a search. A crew from Indiana came out and helped us search the property and a couple miles around the area that she went missing, and nothing came of it. We were out there all day long until the sun went down, and nothing came of it. They didn't find even an article of clothing or nothing.
And that happened in the same day or the day after?
No, it wasn't even the day after. The same day they went and searched, but they didn't do an extensive search because it was January and it was extremely cold outside. So
Right.
they just searched like right behind the house and a couple yards into the wooded areas and stuff like that. But it was so cold outside that they waited. And I think that's where stuff could have disappeared from them waiting as long as they did.
Yeah. And let me ask you something. If these questions are hard to answer, just say I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to put you in any kind of a spot. So,
of course,
the property that this when he was riding the 4-wheeler on and that she walked out onto or whatever, so on and so forth. Is it a large, expansive property? Is there areas that are kind of like hidden out of the way or anything like that? Are you able to describe the property?
It's a large wooded area. This house is kind of like in the middle of nowhere. It's more on the outskirts of the Jersey County area, so it's not like in town. It's where all the farmhouses are and the people that have land and quite a few acres. So there were creeks and little caverns kind of, and they checked all of those, and for them to not find absolutely anything is what's not making sense to me.
I have a question, and again, you don't have to answer if it's uncomfortable for you, but did your mother have any type of history of drug use or anything that would lead her to believe she might be getting this inheritance even though she wasn't?
She did, and she was, so before I was born, she was going through a addiction. She was clean for approximately 18, 19 years, and she relapsed right after she got cleared of cancer and everything. I guess it just took a really hard toll on her, and it caused her to relapse from all the medicine and everything that they had put her on. Sorry, I'm thinking. So yeah,
Take your
that very
time.
well could have been what made her think she was getting the money. It could have been a drug trip. And I honestly feel like that is what's causing the cops and people around here to not do as much as they can.
Well, we see
Because
that,
she was an
unfortunately.
addict.
Yeah, we see that in so many of these cases. Now, the only thing that leads me to think that it may have been suicide, and my husband's the one that pointed it out to me, is her saying that she was living on borrowed time.
Yeah.
That, and if he was using drugs again, I know that all 3 of my suicide attempts were when I was in the depths of my drug addiction. So there
And
is.
Sorry.
I mean, I know it's hard to think about that, but
It
is
is a
something
very, it is a
that
possibility. It is, and I've understood that, but I just wish that I could get someone to speak out, and because I know someone knows something. I've heard
Of course.
horrific stories about what this man had done to my mom.
And you said that he
Someone
took
had.
sorry to interrupt you real quick,
No,
but
go ahead.
you mentioned that when he went out looking for her, you said he took some Narcan and he went looking for her that way.
Yes, he was him and a friend of his that's a neighboring property. They're so this would be the older woman's house that my mom and this man were staying at. And then right behind her property, you go down a couple acres, go across the creek. There is another property, and this man was friends with my mom's boyfriend at the time. They were both
Gotcha.
riding around on four-wheelers looking for her, and both had a thing of Narcan on them.
Had there been again, this is probably another uncomfortable question, and I'm sorry to ask you this, but had there been
okay.
any previous overdose situations where they would think that that's something that, you know what I mean?
Not that I'm aware of. Yes, she did. She was a user.
Okay.
But I had never heard from anybody, even family members, saying that she had ever even came near an overdose.
Okay.
But I also know how lethal some stuff can be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. and honestly, I don't find it suspicious that they would take Narcan with them, because if she's been missing for that long, that's going to come to your mind if you're
right.
going to go out and search. So
yeah, I'm just trying to put a whole thing together picture wise, and that's why I was just wondering. But no, he's absolutely right.
I guess something I should throw in there is 2 weeks before she went missing, this boyfriend of hers had assaulted her to an extreme point where she had called me and asked me if I would come get her because he was no longer at the house, and she didn't know how long he was going to be gone. I didn't want to put myself in that situation. I kind of told her, Mom, he did this to you, and he says he loves and cares about you. What's he going to do to me?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Are you familiar with
So she ended up calling my uncle, and this was just a few days before Christmas of 22.
Before Christmas? Okay. Now, real quick, are you familiar with anybody by the name of Amy Felton?
Amy Felton Baumgartner.
Sorry.
It sounds a little familiar.
Okay. Doodlebug, the one that brought this to us this morning, she's back here, and she had asked that question. Okay, it sounds.
And believe me, if foul play is the reason for her disappearance, obviously the ex is the number one person that needs to be looked at. I'm just saying that we can't eliminate other possibilities. I'm not saying I wasn't trying to stick up for him at all.
No.
Trust me.
Yeah, no. But what I find funny about this particular person that I'm talking about, he will get arrested, and within just a couple hours of him getting arrested, no matter what he did, they let him out. Like this last time that he was arrested for tampering with a witness that was supposed to testify against him in a crime that he committed. And he kept contacting them, asking them to not testify against him.
Well, do you know if he has any ties to local law enforcement, or maybe he's,
I don't know for a fact, but I know that there's such things as CIs, and you don't know who those CIs are or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sure. Doodle wants to know if you know the area itself. Is there issues with trafficking in that area?
You mean like human trafficking?
That you know of, any kind of any whatsoever, drug people.
It's been an issue around here, and the small couple towns surrounding Jerseyville, because they're smaller towns and there's so much just land compared to bigger towns that have all these buildings and all these witnesses. I haven't specifically heard about it, but people have been talking about people that have been coming across the border, making their way up here, and women and children just going missing left and right. So that is another possibility. That's something that I have considered. My aunt has considered. But officers tell us no. They also tell us no, that the boyfriend couldn't have been involved.
What's their reasoning behind that?
They say that he didn't have enough time to do anything to her, and I kept stressing the 2 hours that he had. In my mind, you can get in a car and drive just about anywhere within an hour and a half and make it back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you absolutely can, and
And
it
if
only takes
he,
some matter
yes,
of seconds.
he had any type of free will with this older woman's car, he could just tell her that he needed the keys, and she'd give them to him, and he would be able to just drive and leave in the vehicle.
So this older woman, is he an intimidating factor in her life as well?
I believe so, and so does my aunt. Because after my mom disappeared, she had kicked him out of the house and had gotten a restraining order on him. Her story never wavered though, but she did get a restraining order on this man. And it
Okay.
makes me believe that he coerced her into saying what she said to align with his story.
That's why I
And
was
she was
asking
just
you.
scared for her life. So she went with it, and she's just not changing it because a restraining order can only do so much.
And police spoke with her already, obviously.
Yes, and they said they've known her for years because the reason she was letting my mom and her boyfriend stay there is her daughter was in jail and her daughter was an addict. She felt like her daughter wasn't going to want to come home, so she was trying to be like, "Look, I've been helping other addicts out. Just come home when you get out."
Of course. Gotcha.
So they are
And
very familiar with the older woman, said that her story never changed, and they believe what she's saying is the truth.
have you ever got to speak with her yourself, possibly?
Not about my mom, but the day that we were out there doing the search, they wouldn't let the family help, which is understandable. They don't want tampering of evidence, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But she did come out and talk to me a little bit and walk me around her property and showed me all the animals that my mom loved and cared for.
Got you. So, and that was how long ago did you have that conversation with her? Sorry.
It's been about a year, maybe a little bit more.
Have you ever thought about going back and maybe sitting down with her and trying to have another conversation, maybe?
If I could get one of my aunts or uncles to go with me, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to go out there by myself.
Sure. No. Is he still in the area? Do you know this other person?
As far as I'm aware, yes. I don't think that he's left the state. I don't think he's even left the 5 or 6 little towns that surround Jerseyville. But I'm not 100% sure. He did. This is the most crazy part about it all. Not long after my mom disappeared, I was working at a convenience store. My mom didn't even know where I worked exactly, but somehow he figured out where I worked, and he would just come in and stand in the back of the line and stare at me. He wouldn't say anything to me. He would just stand there and stare at me. The first time he did it, I followed him out of the building and I said, "What are you doing here? If you're going to be here, you're going to give me some answers." And he told me the same exact story that he told the cops. They were arguing that morning over something that she wanted to do. He was trying to convince her not to do it. She got mad and left.
How old would you say this guy is?
He's in his 40s. I don't know his exact age.
Okay.
Well, at the end of the day, one of the most important things that needs to happen is either law enforcement needs to put her into NamUs and get a DNA sample on file. That way, in the event that some remains are found, they'll be able to match them up, or they at least need to provide you with a case number so that you can get her entered into NamUs.
You don't have a case number on this, right?
They have given us all the filings and everything, a copy of everything. My aunt has it. I didn't get one myself.
Okay.
After about a year of dealing with it, I kind of shut down a little bit and was ready for it to just be over.
It's
It
a lot.
was getting really tiring everywhere I went. People, "Have you heard anything about your mom? What's going on with your mom?" And for the longest time, I was just the girl whose mother was missing, and I didn't really get looked at in any other way. So I stopped telling people about it. I got a new job and didn't even tell my new boss that she was missing, because the job I had before, I had to take out so many days because officers would call and say, "Hey, I got this," and I'd want to know immediately. I wouldn't want to wait until after my shift.
Of course. So the guy's in his 40s. Do you know? I mean, again, if I'm asking you too many questions, just shut me down. But
Oh,
do
you're
you
fine.
know, is this gentleman from your mom and you, or your family's from this area originally? Like grew up here?
Yes, my whole life we lived in Buffalo and Cottage Hills. She was from Carlinville. That's where she primarily grew up.
Right.
And moved up this way once she got pregnant with my little brother.
Okay. And do you know if this other person, is from this area, grew up here too?
I believe he did grow up in Jerseyville. I'm sorry.
So there's possibility he grew up and knows law enforcement, people in the community,
Yeah.
things like that. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I think they're like, oh, he just didn't have enough time. And I'm like, but you guys admitted to me that it took you an hour to respond to that call, and he told you he'd already been searching for her an hour before you even received the call.
Yeah, right. And with two people out doing something, very good friends together, things can happen, you know.
Has there been any activity on any of her bank accounts or debit cards or anything
Nope.
since she went missing?
I've been in contact with IDHS, for link services and stuff like that, SNAP, EBT, and they haven't been depositing anything else onto her link card, but that was one of the cards that was missing. They never found it. But it's none of the money has been touched on there.
Does she have a phone? A phone that she took with her when she left, possibly?
She left her phone behind.
Okay.
It took them a couple days to find it. They repeatedly searched the house, and they didn't find any evidence of blood spatter or anything like that. They said that they used the lights, and even the night of her disappearance, they flew one of those thermal planes where they can see if there's anything hidden, and even if she was already deceased, her body would still give off some kind of heat.
Yeah.
But again, nothing came of that.
Do you know if they brought any dogs in on the property or anything in that?
I believe they did within the first couple days of looking for her. They definitely had a couple dogs whenever they did the big search with the crew that came in from Indiana. The first search they did, though, I was not around for that. I just got the information of what they did that day. They did a debriefing with us a couple weeks after she disappeared.
Okay. Got you. And there is a lead detective on this that you have contact, you guys have contact with on a regular basis, right?
Yes, that's Sheriff Manns.
Okay.
He gave me his personal phone number. He mostly stays in contact with my aunt. Like I said, since it's been after so long, I kind of just passed it off to her.
Now, do you know how cooperative they've been with your aunt and yourself per se, when you guys contact them, how they respond and things like that?
I haven't gotten a whole lot of responses. I haven't messaged in quite some time, but I do believe that when she messages, she gets a pretty quick response. And I know any lead that she gives him, he follows up on. But everyone seems to be some kind of dead end. We're not finding anything.
Right. No, I understand completely. Okay. Let me see. Arctic, do you have any other questions?
No, that's really what I had. I mean, either way, they need to go out there and put some real effort towards trying to find her, because even if their theory is right that she did unfortunately take her own life, she deserves a proper burial. She deserves a proper resting place, and y'all deserve some closure. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the very least.
I mean, I've gotten so close to reaching out to my older brother and my younger brother and saying, guys, can we just call it? And I know that sounds probably heartless, but
No, I understand.
I mean, at least some kind of celebration of life, because it has been over 2 years, and the odds of finding her alive and well are very, very slim.
Yeah, I understand. And
it does happen, though. We've seen
It
people
does.
find after 40 and 50 years. So
yes. Just a little good news. Doodle actually put this together and got her. She is now put into MPIA now. So that's going to be a little helpful. A lot more people are going to see it. Okay.
Awesome.
And see her.
Awesome.
So there's that. Thank you, Doodle, for that, hon. I appreciate it very much. I'm trying to think.
Cap said best is to save an old pair of shoes, sneakers for scent dogs if they pinpoint an area at some point in the future.
Yeah, good point. Very
Well,
good
not
point.
only did they search the older woman's property, they searched that friend that was on the four-wheeler with him. They searched his property, got a warrant for it. They didn't find anything on either of those properties, but the friend's parents have a big acreage, and they've been last time I heard, they were trying to get a warrant to search this property. I'm not up to date as to if they ever did get the warrant, if they ever
Yeah.
did make it out there to get the search, but I know that that is something that they were trying.
Do you know if they happen to? It's a good question, Sunday. Did they happen to get a hold of the clothes that this one other person was wearing that day or that night?
I'm actually not too sure about that. That's something that I would probably have to reach out and ask about, because that's not a question that I even had, to see if they
With
could
the
test his clothes for anything.
Yeah, and if they didn't at this point, it's probably too late now, you know.
Yeah.
But if they did that day or that night, that would be definitely helpful in that sense. Great job, Doodle. Thank you for
Do you
that.
know if they illuminated the old lady's car to see if there was any signs of blood or anything in that?
Again, I'm not sure. I feel like they kind of looked at me as a child, even though I'm not, and that's
Yeah,
why I didn't get as many updates as my aunts or my
sure.
uncles. The only information I ever got was stuff that I specifically asked for.
Absolutely. I
Um,
understand. I understand.
and my mind was so messed up about it. Half the questions that I wanted to ask, I didn't ask, or I was too
No,
scared to ask them because I didn't want to know the answer at the same time of wanting to know the answer.
No, I
very,
get it. I mean, there's
yeah,
absolutely no guidebook for something like this happening. That's
no,
why I tell people all the time. I was like, well, yeah, well, maybe you would have answered it that way, but you never know what you're going to say or how you're going to answer a question whenever you're in a situation like this. I know I didn't know until it happened to me with my friends. So,
yeah,
Right.
yeah. There's no set of instructions or a guidebook, like he said. It's just your experiences as it comes, and it's horrible, you know. And I'm so sorry. I know we all are that you had to go through this. And understand that you do need closure. You need to be able to live your life and move forward in it. And it's hard to do that without the answers that are just to these things that you need to know. This is your mother, you know.
Right.
We do absolutely understand. The best that we're going to be able to do here is what we're doing right now, and we're going to spread the
And I
word.
appreciate every minute of it. A friend actually sent, well, not a friend of mine, but a friend of my aunt sent her the link of this live feed that you guys are doing, and she
Okay.
immediately sent it to me. And so I talked to the other manager that's here at work, and I was like, "Hey, can I go? I got to do something."
Sure. No, I
And
appreciate your
so,
time
yeah, I
very
definitely
much.
wanted to at least try to put something out there, because I also know that you guys had only gotten the thing about an hour before you guys went live.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
was
I
a
was like,
quick.
I'm gonna comment, because by the time I seen it, you guys had already been live for about 2 hours.
Right, right.
So I was like, let me just comment and see if anything comes out of it. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me and get the word
Any
out there about her.
well,
anytime.
yeah, we appreciate you coming on panel and telling us about your mother's case.
Yes, please. And Paige, anything. Um, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna put it in the back chat. I'm gonna give you a phone number and or an email address you can reach me at. An email address you can reach Arctic at, if you would, if you know, if you are comfortable with that, and you can reach out to us at any time if there's anything new or anything more that you need us to do with this. I would be happy to do it. I know Arctic would. Mind of Monsters is not here right now. She would definitely be, and so would Doodle. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna go into the back chat back here. Arctic has his back there already. Over to the right, it'll say private chat, and you click that, go in the back, and you'll see all these things I'm gonna put in there. Okay. Are you able to do that? I don't know what device you're on. Is she still up here? Yeah, she's still there. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so his email's in there already. All right, and there's mine. And there is a phone number I can be reached at anytime you need to call, day or night. It's fine. Also, I think you have. Do you have Doodlebug's information, or Doodlebug does she or no?
Well, I think Doodlebug's the one that sent the link to this live to her. So
She did, I believe so. So, yeah, and like SRB said, please feel free to come and join us at any time. and anybody else you think would be interested in joining us for the things that we do here, the more the better, because the more that we can spread the word for the people that we cover and the things we talk about, it's very helpful in that sense. So please, we will all support you in here. That's absolute fact. Okay, Doodle has, okay, you guys have each other's information there. Good. Okay, so there you go with that. Okay, she has she has your aunt's info. Good. Okay. As long as we can stay in contact with each other, that's all I want to know. So if anything new comes up, if anything you need us to put anything else out, that you come up, if you're sitting around thinking about something, you want to come in here, bring it back to us. We'll definitely go do a thing again. Oops, she dropped off. Okay. She must have clicked something. It's okay.
She's in the chat. Thank you, Paige, for coming up, hun.
Yes, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. We will all be thinking about you, keeping Kayla, yourself, and your family in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you again so very much. Well, that worked out well. That's twice now that's happened. And again, Doodle, thank you for bringing that in here. Again, Doodle got her put into MPIA. That's very helpful. A lot more people are going to see it now at that point. So amazing stuff. Mama Bear, anything to add to that? Or anything?
No.
No. Arctic?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, I think that'll do it for this show today. We've been here for 3 hours. That's right around where I wanted to be. We got a lot accomplished today in 3 hours, though. A whole lot. So again, guys, since we're looking at it again, Miss Kayla Botoli, last seen January 8th of 2023. She's 39 years old, 5'3", 111 pounds. She's a cancer survivor and has a colostomy bag. She was last seen wearing black sweatpants with white lettering, a black hoodie, white high tops, and she resides in Dow, but has lived in Carlinville out in Wood River as well. If you know anything about Miss Kayla here, please contact Jersey County Sheriff's Department at 618-498-6881. It would be very much appreciated. Hopefully we'll figure something out for this young lady and maybe get some answers and some closure for her daughter, Paige, and the family. It's a very sad situation. I hate seeing these, especially when the kids have to go through what they're going through with this, It's horrible. Thank you all. And guys, please share that all.
I couldn't imagine.
Right. Anybody that has any social media platforms, all this stuff that we put out here for the missing and so on and so forth, please share them throughout all your social media platforms, guys. It only takes just a moment or so to do it. And so many more people will see these things than just us. So I really appreciate it, guys. I'll probably be back in here very shortly for another show. If anybody's interested. Do we know, real quick, off subject real quick, but do we know the times for the hearing for today?
I don't.
Because are they even still having the hearing today?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I see it. Hold on. Yeah, so I'm going to come back in and run. I believe it was the evidence hearing. Yeah, it is. So I'll be back in here with that right after this. And we'll go in and look at that and talk about it. I'll be right back in here, Kaylee. Let's see, it's 3:21 here, so give me about enough time to load everything together and come right back in, okay? Arctic, Mom, Doodle, and Mama Bear, thank you guys so very much for joining me today. I appreciate you guys as always. It would be boring without you. I'm grateful for all of you. Everybody in the chat, guys, thank you so very much for always being here, always supporting us, and just always being amazing, guys. You guys are rock and roll. You're all amazing. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. Don't change a thing, because as always, you guys are the beautiful people, and we will see you all very soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See you in a minute.
Life's a journey, let's make every moment shine. Together we share our hearts so intertwined. Each time you tune in, we're dancing in sync. With every story told, just let your soul think. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day. In this podcast family, worries drift away. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. So gather round friends, it's time to reflect. In this joyful moment, what's next to connect? Let's cherish the laughter, the joy that we spread. Together we'll thrive until our hearts are fed. See you next time with stories anew. Can't wait to share more with all of you. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day. In this podcast family, worries drift away. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set